shortly the channel will be online. And then I will say what I say when we start. Like, hello everybody, and welcome to Adventure on So Many Levels. We're gonna play some Dungeons and Dragons.
Yay! Dungeons and Dragons!
Hi, Jenny.
Hi!
I'm Christiana Ellis. I am the Dungeon Master. And what's this? There's been there's something different tonight. Maybe it's the fact that we have, returning to the campaign, Jenny Meltzer. Now, Jenny Meltzer, for anyone who's only watched Campaign 2, Jenny was one of the players from Campaign 1, and she is now returning to the campaign. She is not taking Chooch's place, only just tonight that alas, Chooch is not able to join us. And so she's in Chooch's spot only for tonight, but the plan is it's not an exchange, it's just an addition. But who is she playing? It's a secret. We'll find out when her character shows up. Anyway, we also have tonight Paul Fisher as Zinhorn Windborn.
Good evening.
We have Starla Hutchton as Carolina Swift.
Hello, friends.
Why is it that I just wanted to call you Starla Fisher? I don't know why. It's just maybe in my head that I had said Paul Fisher, and then anyway, I'm just all messed up. This is what happens to me when my players just change themselves around. Everything's topsy-turvy. But we also have Mark Kilfoyle as Nedry Shiny Rock.
I'm pretty sure the theories are really just questions with evidence, but I like that.
And last but not least, Vivid Muse as Trina of Harley.
Hey, y'all.
So, last time you continued exploring this spooky old mansion, which used to be a training academy for a secretive and maybe a little bit sinister organization of adventurers for profit, for the profit of the Empire. Sort of a weird thing. Something weird happened here a long time ago, though, where everyone died. And so you guys have been trying to figure out what's going on, but you're also thinking you might be caught in a demi-plane, and you're fighting shadowy reconstructions of the people who died here. A lot's going on. So what happened last time specifically? You remember? It's only been a week.
Well, according to my notes, considerable amount of things happened. I can't sing it, though. Go ahead, Carolina.
Well, I'm not going to sing it.
Oh, you're on the spot now. You have to.
Well, one of the first things that happened is that our cleric got possessed. That was unfortunate. We walked into the room and things started flying, and then a ghost came out of nowhere, and then he went into Zinhorn, and he had this crazy look on his face. Not friendly. Definitely not friendly. But we got him out and fought some stuff and tried to talk to one of them, but he wasn't having it. So, but then we found out what happened with the, trying to remember his title, headmaster. That's the word I was looking for. What happened in the auditorium with the headmaster, and still unsure of the other person's identity.
Pretty sure. Tanglefoot, I believe. Or at least whatever was occupying Tanglefoot's space. It may have been another worldly entity that was pretending to be him and was also pretending to be other people, but that's a little harder to prove.
If Amethyst were here, she'd say Jinxie. But yeah, she's not. So who's Jinxie?
Well, I think the world knows who Jinxie is because she was part of the story of the Heroes of Legend.
Oh, that's true.
I was going to say, Carolina probably has a couple songs about Jinxie somewhere. And if she doesn't, she should get on.
But in any event, though, you also discovered that the identity of this mysterious shadow-wreathed creature that seems to have attacked and killed everyone seems like it might have been none other than Isilda, the woman who you thought you were coming to meet. And she challenged the headmaster. Apparently there's some sort of a ritual. She thought they should not do it and that it was worth killing everybody in the building in order to prevent. But they were doing it anyway, and that's kind of messed up. Last you saw her in that little cutscene memory was that she had been severely wounded, but was nonetheless headed up to the tower to try to stop the ritual anyway.
Well, that reminds me. I wanted to check the face that was in that small amulet locket, I think it was. The one that had different expressions or different sides. And see if it seems similar to Isilda, even though their facial features are somewhat limited in splinter form.
So do you have that thing with you?
It was one of the few things I grabbed before we left.
Okay. So this little device that you had found in Ellister's like disposal, like when you got all of that stuff, this small device that projects the a feminine face. This spectral recreation you saw doesn't it's not as full detail as like an illusion would be, or an expertly rendered drawing. But given that you like the level of detail available to you, it seems possible that it's her. That it's the same face. You couldn't be certain, but you can't rule it out either. But that, yeah, so there's that. You also found a key.
Yeah. Attached to the temple, you mean? The one that is supposedly to the Mistress of the Dark? It's a very bad key.
Yeah. Otherwise known as essentially the spirit/goddess of the Shadowfell, ruler of that dark domain. But there was a shrine to this entity here in the building, and the person who worshipped there disappeared under mysterious circumstances, but given that they're the only one who wasn't obviously killed, that's a little mysterious, but you have this smoky gray crystal key left behind.
And Trina ate it.
That's right. With her magical stomach of holding. And I feel like we have to explain that every time because someone will jump.
I'm hungry. We don't have to explain nothing.
Yeah. All right. So this magical key is currently in Trina's belly. But so you had just finished fighting off this ghost and poltergeist recreation of who you believe was probably the head ranger Tanglefoot and headmaster Proxim, and we really had only just finished that encounter here, and you really hadn't even searched the room yet as we left off. And so, pocket protectors, what do you want to do?
Well, first, I would like to look around to see if that bag that the guy got sucked into is still laying around somewhere.
You do recall that the bag was picked back up by Isilda as she went to head towards the tower.
Okay.
However, one thing that you do find looking around the room is that you remember in the recreation that when the headmaster was standing on the center of the stage, apparently waiting for Isilda, standing like just behind him was a mirror on a stand, where you now see that mirror laying on the floor at the back of the room. and like there's a little bit of a shimmer to it that you suspect it may be magical.
I think I'm gonna leave that to somebody else with more experience with such things.
Nedry sits down and starts to write furiously in his book.
Okay.
And I will look at Sequential.
And Sequential will glance at it and say, "Seems magical to me, but I don't know what else about
I'm
it."
looking at his.
Hey, Nedry, can you identify that?
Oh, if I've got a few minutes, I can try. He sounds and looks a bit shaken at the moment, actually.
Does anyone need healing?
Right, Does anybody hear that noise? Anybody else? Is it just me?
Trina's down 7.
Noise?
Christiana, did you because you had said the noise of something magical building.
Oh,
elsewhere?
that faded away. It seems to have been a sound that... Oh, did I say that it continued even with...
Yes.
Okay. Yes, that is happening still. Because I'm not retconning what I said before, but it does... It's not rising in the same way that it was before. There's just still sort of a... It feels a little bit like whatever you watched is actually kind of still just happening, and it's just, you know, all of the animated, you know, NPCs in it left the room. So you're still seeing, yeah, I feel, it feels a little bit like it's on a loop, like it's vamping a little bit, like it's... Yeah, like, well, it was sort of rising, and it seemed to be getting sort of more urgent when you were watching her react to it, but now it feels almost like you're sort of just hearing it echo back and forth.
Well, while Nedry looks at that thing, I would like to go... I'm going to poke my head into this other room here.
So this room in the corner, incidentally, you haven't searched that room yet either. So,
yeah,
yeah, you're looking in
where
there.
I was. First, I want to just like make sure there's like nothing
Sure.
in there that's going to, you know, try to possess me.
Well, if there is anything, it's not visible.
Okay. I'm trying to get 7 points back.
Oh, thank you. Sorry, that startled me.
Okay.
Oh, I feel so much
yeah,
better.
So I think that at least as you just peek into the room, Carolina, nothing leaps out at you.
All right.
It's another bedroom though, and it's another one of the like slightly nicer ones, but you know, still trashed, obviously. You know, there's you know, things destroyed. It's very obvious that like a lot of, you know, what would have been valuable has been stripped away from it at some point. Looted like everything else in the house, except that you have occasionally found things that seem, you know, would that have been left behind? Was it always there for people who came before? Unclear. But are you searching the room more carefully?
Yeah, I'm going to poke around a little bit.
Okay.
In any remaining drawers or like...
Make an investigation check. And it looks like Trina's in there helping, so you can make it at advantage, or each of you.
I'm your
roll
assistant sneak source, so go ahead and take advantage.
Ooh. Whoa.
Oh, 19.
Nice.
That's pretty good.
I mean, I guess I can roll it again, but...
You might as well.
Yeah, nah. I'm gonna keep the 19.
Right,
Thanks.
the 19. So, yeah, I think you're poking around and you're mostly not finding anything, but eventually something makes you question looking at the mattress, and there's a little bit of a like like a bulge on it, where most of the rest of it is kind of sagged. But you think you see a spot where there's something there, and as you kind of investigate further, you realize that there's sort of a hidden, like, pocket in it, like not like a torn or cut hole, but like someone has created a little cavity in there. And in there, you find a letter and a dagger that has kind of a sawtooth blade and a black pearl in the pommel.
Interesting. So what does the letter say? If you want to pass me that, then I'll read it, so you don't have to. But
Well, I will. If you would like to read it, I've given you guys this opportunity before, but it's also been a little bit tricky because, you know, occasionally I had a more updated version and.
Right.
Okay.
Just saying,
so
I would read it if you.
I
had,
will
you know, the
read it
thing
in
ready.
this case, but I'm also showing it to everybody in your journal now. But what the letter says is, it's relatively short, but what it says is, Ranger Tanglefoot, your recovery of the Deep Jade Circlet is a remarkable accomplishment, and if it proves to be as powerful as Master Arcanist Onyx Bane believes, then we may be on the threshold of something world-changing. The Emperor will be notified, and I am certain a personal audience will be in the offing at the very least. Well done, Headmaster Proxima. Now, Nedry is in the other room, but, you know, so I guess let me know when you guys are sharing that with him, because he's busy at the moment. But there's a relevant detail that would perk his ears, I think.
Yeah. I'll hang on to that until he's done, but I'll give it to him, like, once I see that he's not, you know, doing the thing anymore. The dagger. I'm after the incident with the key, I'm slightly hesitant to touch things, but take a deep breath, and I will kind of pick it up with, like, 2 fingers and, like, hold it up like this, and
Yeah. Yeah, so as I mentioned, this is it's like a sawtooth edge to the blade, and the black pearl in the pommel. You get the
I'm gonna jump downstairs.
Okay.
I'll be back on in a minute.
All right. So this dagger has kind of a like an ugly look to it. Yeah, and apologize to those on the video. That's briefly gonna. You know, everyone's images is going to look a little weird, but it's kind of just, the weapon is kind of just a nasty looking weapon. Like it's the sort of thing that you would, like, a paladin who's all about good and light would probably not want to carry a weapon like this, because it looks like something like a bad person would use.
Y'all are killing me.
People are having fun with the video framing at the moment, which.
sorry,
No, that's
birds.
all right. Hey,
just
you know,
something shiny.
We are all human beings with lives, and sometimes it results in interesting technical things. But yes, so the dagger does not hurt you or anything when you touch it. It's just a dagger, but like I said, it's just sort of it looks like the sort of dagger a bad person would use.
Yeah. Not sure I'm particularly fond of this thing. It doesn't give me good vibes. So, I guess I'll hold it out to Trina. Do you want to, I don't know, eat this too, or nah?
Or nah? It looks delicious. How can I resist? Of course, I will throw it into my endless stomach for examination later. It's kind of cute, though, so it could be useful later, too, if it's...
Head tilted back.
Yep.
Sword
With the
swallowing.
trunk, though. But with the trunk, I'm going to drop it in with the trunk.
All right, so you have now swallowed a dagger. You have this other little letter. That's all you find in the room there.
Alright.
In the meantime, were you casting Identify on the mirror, Nedry?
Yep.
what you discover is that it is an item known as a mirror of life trapping. And you discover that the code word is a word in Ignan, which is a dialect of Primordial. I think you don't necessarily know what the word means, but you know kind of how to say it. And I will invite you now to decide what that word is. Just like as a sound to say.
As a sound?
Yeah, well, it's a word in a language you don't know.
Yeah. Which was Ignan? Was that the fire primordials?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Let's see. What's a fire word? Let's see. Shuklak.
Sure.
Shuklak.
So what you discover is that this item is a potentially very, very dangerous potential trap, or alternately could be used as a way to just contain someone more safely. But essentially, it's designed so that when it's activated, anyone who looks at their reflection in it could possibly find themselves trapped inside. But only when it's active, it's not currently active. So you would have to use the command word to activate it. And that's an item that you can look up in D&D Beyond if you want to see more about the details of its properties.
Cool.
Move everybody's...
Mark, do you want to put that into the spreadsheet? Since we don't have Chooch.
I can do that.
That would be awesome.
And I will hold up the letter we found. Nedry, I found another letter. Trina and I did.
Excellent.
So
take a look.
The thing that stands out to you in that letter, because of course it's the same thing that I read before, but you may recall back when you decided to research Midnight Stones that I told you that I would tell you what some of the other nicknames for it, the other things that it's called sometimes. Deep Jade is one of them.
Now it makes a lot of sense. I was wondering if we were going to hear more about the circlet. And the fact that this is also... what was the other term?
Midnight Stone.
Midnight
or
Stone.
Deep Jade.
And the fact that it was also a Midnight Stone makes even more sense. That's why it was so powerful.
Well, maybe it was. I mean, maybe that was what made him go crazy. Like, wasn't there something in the letters about like the circlet like affecting somebody and?
Well, it was sort of the other way around. I believe it was Velray who was very dubious about Tanglefoot's finding of the circlet. In fact, I think they were raising the idea that Tanglefoot was lying about more than the circlet. And if it's something as powerful as this, used to power a ritual, potentially to open up, essentially to break the wards on a sealed pocket plane, or possibly even an actual plane, it would be considerably dangerous. Also, the fact that there were nightmares spreading around and ill thoughts, and the Mistress of the Dark is involved, I wouldn't be surprised if they'd been experimenting with trying to bring that plane here, or at least bring a part of it, maybe some subsection of it which actually had some other sort of powers in it. And then there's the fact that that was all happening long before they actually were going to do the ritual, which meant that they'd been experimenting with it and probably having side effects they were either not accounting for or possibly not caring about. It's also possible that Tanglefoot was not actually Tanglefoot. One theory I have is that when they went away to find the circlet, something else came back with it, which would explain their ability to sort of change faces a lot. And their general change, it seems, well, actually, I'm not sure if it was a change in attitude, but certainly a negative attitude that later on was commented upon by Velray, as well as, I think there were a couple of the other instructors and some of the students who commented about it as well. The curious question is whether we're going to find splinters of everyone. I mean, we saw splinters of Tanglefoot, or at least the being that we now think is Tanglefoot, and the headmaster. The only splinter that I'm pretty sure we haven't seen yet, and I'm a little afraid of actually encountering, but inevitably it'll happen, is Onyxbane themselves. I'm calling them splinters now. UUE was a lot more complicated and more of a temporary name, but splinter seemed more appropriate given that they seem to be either splinters of the original souls or a splinter representation of the soul, sort of like, well, kind of like a piece of a mirror can still seem to represent an entire room, even if it's not actually there. It just sort of reflects things rather than actually is the thing. Oh, don't look in this mirror, by the way. It's very, very bad, although could prove extraordinarily useful for us. It's basically meant to trap people. I suppose trapping souls, but it's a little bit academic whether people and souls are necessarily distinct. It should also work on spirits, too, which might be of an advantage to us. But anything we encounter here might already either have passed through it, or perhaps might be immune to it. Testing will prove that, but that might also be dangerous to test in the middle of some sort of extended combat. What was the question again?
Carolina wandered off at some point.
One note about
that was
the
a lot.
just in terms of the size, is that it is big enough and on a stand so that you can't just like put that in a pocket or a bag. It's like one person could carry it with difficulty, a bit easier for two to carry it together, and so it is portable in that sense, but you can't just like put it in a pocket and forget you have it.
So, wait, you said the mirror can trap people or entities, maybe?
That's kind of what it's intended to do.
Well, what if we take it with us? Like, what if whatever is going on upstairs is being caused by someone or something who is kind of like, I don't know, trapped in stasis or something like that, and if we put them in the mirror, it'll stop.
It's a theory. It's not exactly an effective weapon in that particular sense. It's more to be used in underhanded means, when you can trick someone to come into the room and then sort of stand behind the mirror and say well, I won't say it because that would be really bad right now, but say the trigger word.
Well, what if somebody small stood behind somebody large, and if needed, then suddenly step out and say the word?
Well, I don't think you'd have to necessarily step out so long as the word could be heard by the item.
Well, but you don't want the person who is large standing in front of the person who is small accidentally getting trapped in the mirror. So if the person holding the mirror stood to the side, then whoever was in front of it would be the one getting trapped, right?
So long as they were looking at it. Theoretically, it should work.
Movement tends to catch the eye. That's why I do a lot of moving during my performances. All eyes on me,
I don't know what effect it would have on, say, something here, one of the splinters. It might effectively trap it, but I'm not really sure if they really exist. The splinters are more of an echo. They might not even be sentient beings as we understand them. And if that's the case, they really don't have a life to trap. Again, we can try it, but we just have to make sure that we have a secondary plan. The other problem, too, is that we might not be encountering a person so much as, sort of a tear, maybe. This whole demiplane might be the result of the ritual. I have a feeling that whatever Iselle was trying to do, she didn't succeed and they were able to do the ritual. Or they did it quickly, knowing that, basically she was on the march. Since we haven't seen any sign of the ritual so far, I can only conclude that the ritual is still upstairs. And we'll see the remains of it.
So, are you guys all familiar with... You guys know that story of the heroes of legend, right? And there was, this ritual that they interrupted and, everything blew up. What if this is like that? How cool would that be?
Didn't that almost destroy everything?
Oh, it got better.
And from what I've learned since coming here, it got a lot better. It didn't just improve from that. It sounds like everything got a little better. Like
We
the
have a
whole
lot more
world.
different people in Sakamian now. From what I understand, anyway.
So, how are you feeling, Nedry? You look a little pale.
Oh, it's a little bit weird. It's kind of embarrassing. It's like my robes don't really fit properly anymore. I can't really figure out why. Everything feels a little bit different.
Yeah,
I've never really been scared that much.
What were you going to say, Christian?
I was just going to add that, as mentioned in the last episode, Nedry does look different, which, in particular, he went from 19 years old to 39 years old.
And that is like
a
a
moment.
visual. So, like, we can see that on him, and he probably can't see it,
Well,
right? Like, he can't see what his
yeah.
hair looks
That
like and
being
stuff.
said, 39 is not especially old for a gnome, so it's not like he looks like an old man. It's just that.
Okay.
Yeah. But he does look different.
I'm sure it's just getting rattled like that. Whatever power that thing had was, well, a bit surprising. But I'll be ready for it, I think.
Well, you definitely look different. I don't know what the difference is, but there's something.
I think.
And
I'm
just
gonna,
take it easy, take it slow, okay?
I'm going to go ahead and say that Zinhorn. I'm not going to make you make a roll for this, but I'll say that one of the things that you were like taught in learning how to be a cleric in terms of sometimes you have to encounter evil things, right? You need to be ready. One of the things I think you were told is that some ghosts have the capability of causing unnatural aging in their victims.
So that could explain what happened to Nedry. Is that the ghost may have actually caused some unnatural aging in you.
Aging? What do you mean?
He kind of looks at his hands.
I mean,
Maybe
I don't look much
you're
older.
like 5 or 10 years older. You look different to us.
5 or 10 years.
I'd say take a look in the mirror, but maybe don't.
Not in that one.
Not this particular one, no. In
Oh,
fact, we
wait.
probably should cover
She's
it
got
over
her little-
just to be safe.
She's got her little pocket mirror. It's like I can show you. Are you sure you want to see?
Oh, I'm absolutely curious.
Oh, okay. So I will go over and give him. I have a little compact mirror that we'd used before, so
Sure.
in my disguise kit.
He kind of
And I
takes the
will
mirror and
show him.
he kind of angles it a bit, to the side and kind of all over.
Huh. That's really weird. I thought that Loban kind of deserved the way he looked, but maybe he was just getting older. 5 to 10 years. I'm not the youngest anymore. Although I don't know if they're going to believe me.
Part of what you know about this Zinhorn is that although it does require a relatively powerful spell, more powerful than you can cast, it can be reversed, and that Father Wilfram is capable of.
Well,
doing
as
that.
it turns out, I do know someone who can reverse the effects for you. I can't do it, and I certainly can't do it here right now. But if everything goes well, you'll be the youngest again, Nedry.
Oh. Well, I mean, it has been known that several wizards have the ability, usually through some potions they found from others, to reduce the amount of aging that they experience. I've never really expected experience it all that quickly.
Yeah, this is magical aging, and it could shorten your life, so I don't think you want to mess with it.
Yeah, I suppose.
I mean, we're adventurers. Our lifespan might not be all that long to begin with, but if we're good at what we do, you could have a long, healthy life.
Well, I have to live a long life. Do you know how many papers I have to write? I mean, it's going to take a long time, and I keep getting interrupted, but...
Forget papers. I mean, just think about how many questions he has.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sort of coming to expect the fact that I won't get all of my questions answered. I'll have to start prioritizing them.
Well, was there anything else in here we wanted to look at? We pretty much covered the other room.
There's a lot of questions raised, but the other thing I'm wondering about is whether we'll see a splinter of Vizeld. Again, I don't really know exactly what happened here, but it started before they did the ritual. Probably the ritual, or even its interruption, was what caused everything else. But whether Vizeld was killed outright then or not, it wouldn't surprise me if she's involved here somehow. Maybe even trapped, or maybe even part of this place. I've been trying to establish why we're seeing the MIRs. Because who's having these memories? Almost all of them are involving what would be Vizeld, but not all of them. And then I started thinking about Sombra and Sunya. If Sombra is kind of like Sunya, a spirit of this place, then maybe it's been trying to establish the story so that we know.
I kind of got the feeling that was what was going on, but I don't have any proof to support that.
There's a lot of empty questions here, unfortunately. And if we could talk to Sombra, that'd be great. You don't know how to conjure up that kind of... Well, I'm not really sure if he's dead. But you can speak to the dead sometimes.
Well, Father Wilthram can. There are others of my order capable of doing it. I'm not at that level yet.
I think it's just a second level spell. I might be wrong.
It may be, but
I may be mistaken. I think you did take it to... So I might be wrong about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had to go to somebody else for that.
Yeah.
Because I'm also a cleric of healing, so I don't know if I would ever get that spell.
It is a third level spell, so you're almost there.
Oh, okay.
Well, let's keep that in mind for when we return here later on. There'll be a lot of people we can ask questions of, although there may not be a lot of bodies. That might be harder.
Right.
I don't know if we can sweep up the ashes into a bucket and call it a body.
That doesn't work. You know that it needs like a mouth. Like it needs like it needs something to speak.
Well, it seemed like somebody had come in, like we were talking about how, somebody clearly removed the bodies in the chamber down in the basement. And like there's all these blood stains, but there's no bodies. And somebody boarded up the windows and the doors. So it stands to reason that anybody that fell here might have been interred properly elsewhere.
Well, there's two things to that which are really interesting. One, if we truly are in a demi-plane and the normal world still exists outside, it's actually possible that all the bodies are there and they just don't register here as either a thing which is interesting or what would register as the splinters. The other thing is that we know that someone else was here, and we're not really sure where they went to.
It's been 85 years. If the bodies were still here, they'd be skeletons. I think we would have, even if we're in a demi-plane, so I think somebody would have put them to rest long ago.
I don't know if anybody's been taking care of this place.
Well, there have been people looting it.
Yeah, lots of people
pretty
in
much
and out
continually. somebody would have dragged the body out just to avoid the smell.
Maybe.
And
Well, we can always find out.
going back to what you were saying earlier about what was the name you used? Might be the spirit of this house.
Oh, Sombra.
Sombra. The spirit of a place like this is affected by what people living in the area think of the place itself. So everyone around here has thought this was a creepy old, deserted, creepy place. Emphasis on the creepy. And we've been experiencing a lot of creepy. So that could go for it. And if everyone in here went insane and nasty and homicidal 85 years ago, that would have affected the spirit as well.
So can we change it by, I don't know, thinking happy thoughts?
We should be able to. It may take time, but we should be able to, like, if we just like make the place a normal place and start, fixing it up and working on it, the spirit should start healing and becoming much more lucid and I guess normal.
I hope that's true, although I don't think Sombra was created or reconstituted in the same way. It sounds as though Sombra might have actually been a spirit that lived on another plane first, and either was a representative or was captured or exchanged here. There was talk about sacrifices or offerings being made. So it might be something which is actually somewhat of an independent spirit. But with time, perhaps we could reform that spirit even then. It's also possible to encounter Sombra upstairs.
I'm still not entirely certain this Sombra is a spirit. I still have the feeling that it was a person rather than a spirit. But I don't know. And we won't know just standing around asking questions, I think.
Also, the distinction is not necessarily as clear as you might think.
And he points over at Sequential.
He waves.
Spirits and living beings are not necessarily of two different, separate things. They're just a little bit more malleable. At least that's one of my working theories. But yes, we're going to have to see where the ritual took place. And I suspect it'll probably be the locus of almost all the energy here. Probably the most dangerous place as well. And if Onyx Bane is there as a splinter, we can probably expect it to be very, very dangerous there. And I suspect that Onyx Bane has not gotten happier.
Probably not. So what about this mirror? Do we want to take it with us as a precaution?
Do we have the keyword, the command word?
I know how to activate it.
Okay. Yeah, let's throw a tarp or a shirt or something over it and take it with us just in case. Is there a way to tell if there's something in there already before we do this?
So there is not. The identify would have said if there was any creatures.
Oh, okay.
Nobody was trapped in it. So at least the trap wasn't sprung, as far as we know.
Because the command word can be used also to speak with anyone trapped in it or release them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How big is
someone trapped in there can't get out themselves, but they're not trapped permanently if the person with the command word is willing to let them out.
It's about a 4-foot tall mirror, I think.
Yeah.
Well,
how wide is it?
I mean, it's the sort of thing like where a person, like one person, probably not Nedry, like you get both hands around it, you could carry it around, but it would be like all you can do, right? Or two people carrying it together, you would probably want to do to be more careful with it. That it's, it's that.
It's big. It's bulky. Yeah. So is the goal to take it up on the rest of our search with us, or do you just want to take it back with us when we leave?
Well, I think the up the stairs is where the ritual is.
That's the thought.
And
Well,
so
there's no guarantee there won't be something on the stairs as well. So
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't want it to be
my
damaged.
concern here is that, like, if we go upstairs and, like, well, if something happens to us, that'd be bad. But if we go up there and, like, this goes away and that mirror is still in the other plane that's not a dummy plane, like, that's dangerous, and that needs to be not where it is just laying around for anyone to find.
Absolutely. But I guess my question is, I'm happy to carry it. That's kind of what I'm built for. But do you want me to start carrying it now, or do you want me to just get it as we, knock on wood, all leave in one healthy piece together?
I think it would be good to have it nearby.
Okay.
We might have occasion to actually use it. I think when we actually enter the upper space, if we haven't already entered into some sort of fight by then, putting it aside for the moment, but having it nearby would help. That way we could bring it out if we needed to, but it isn't in direct danger.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
You got it.
Be careful, though. It's kind of fragile.
I'm used to mirrors. We have those back in Harley. I'll be careful, I promise.
So
I didn't mean to suggest that you didn't have mirrors. I completely believe you have mirrors.
No, it's okay. You guys don't know what my world's like. I thought maybe you didn't know that if I knew what a mirror was, and I was just like, I got it. I'm going to be safe and careful, I promise.
all right.
I'd like to ask you about your world sometime. It sounds kind of neat.
It's the best.
And maybe I can talk to your friends, spirits, sometime?
I hope so. I hope I get to too. But for now, it's just great seeing them. But yeah, we will explore all of that. I promise.
Awesome.
I love talking about them. They're great.
Right. So grabbing the mirror and we're going, right?
Yeah.
So I think it weighs something like 40 pounds, which is not terribly heavy. It's like I said, the shape is just awkward. Like a lot of the weight is the base, but it's also not super sturdy, and it's 4 feet tall and a little bit wide. So it's kind of awkward to carry. The easiest way for you to do it is just like one hand on each side, which is not hard to do, but it does take both hands, and it would be difficult to not drop it if you had to let one hand go, right? That's the trick to it. So basically what I'm saying
I've
is
got my trunk.
You don't have to make any sort of a check, but it does make it more difficult for you to do anything else while you're holding it.
Sure.
But you do have your trunk. It's true. Are you carrying it with the reflective face out or in?
Well, Carolina's mentioned, or somebody mentioned covering it. We were going to cover it.
I can actually help with that. And so from like in my pack, I will pull out a very large shirt. Like a just a basic like workman's like peasant shirt kind of thing. So it'll kind of fit over the top.
Handy.
So it can wear it like a shirt.
All right, cool. So, carrying the mirror along with you, you're proceeding to the tower?
Yeah, I would, but yeah. Have we cleared the whole rest of this level, though?
Well,
so.
You haven't been in the two sort of mini tower sort of things that were separated on this level.
Or those two, the outbuildings.
Yeah, or the two outbuildings. And then, of course, the big round room that you believe is the tower. So, like, that's what you haven't seen yet on this floor.
I love to clear and make sure that we found everything we need to. But,
well, I mean, there's stairs to go down right here. So if you wanted to go down to the level below so that you could go over to the stairs for the other things, you could do that.
Do we still hear like the ritual ramping up above us?
So it's not ramping anymore. What it feels a little bit like is it's sort of echoing back and forth. It's a little bit like when you hear an echo somewhere, except that it's not really fading, but it's also not increasing anymore. It's kind of just sort of resonating. Like the whole house is kind of just buzzing a little bit with this energy in a way that it wasn't before, but you almost forget about it now because it's just constant.
It's entirely possible that there's a limited pool of energy that the entire house uses to maintain splinters. So as we've been destroying or otherwise banishing or somewhat dismissing splinters, all that energy is being recovered by the central force. It's probably not going to make it worse.
I think it's like when the little kids keep asking when lunch is going to be served. They go out and they come back and they ask again, and they go out and they come back and they ask again, and it just, you wonder if it could go on forever in the state that it's in. So yeah, I would be okay with going and checking out those other areas.
Okay, so you guys tell me what you're doing.
I'm following.
So I can carry and I can lead, but that puts the mirror at risk if we run into something.
We could leave the mirror at the top of the stairs here and come back for it.
I would.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll just leave it at whichever stairs we're going down, because we've got 3 unexplored areas on the map right now.
Here,
So I'll just take the mirror to where. Sorry?
This little rectangle will be the mirror wherever you want to leave it.
Yeah, because we got stairs down right here.
Where is it? Oh, there it is. Okay.
Yeah, so there's stairs down to the second floor, just right here.
Oh, I went the wrong way.
Well, you know.
Ah!
Well,
Carolina
Stairs
waves at you
that
from the
way.
doorway. Over here. Over here.
Trina is trying to
Yeah,
fill
there's
in
also
the
stairs over
logistics.
here, so.
Trina didn't come this way, so she's just making sure that this meets up with the other stuff we've already done.
So yeah, I mean, you could go either way and get to stairs. In fact, if you go the ones to the east, that's probably actually closer to where you're going. But whatever you want to do.
That's where I'd like to go. Yeah, these ones over like here.
All right.
Okay, I'm with you.
Okay.
All right.
So you all.
I can't move the square. I can't move the mirror.
Oh, that's all right. I'll move it. I thought you were leaving it there anyway.
Am I? Let me leave it up top. Where do you guys want me to leave it? I don't care.
Just leave it right there, right where it is.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. Yeah. Leave it there.
All right.
Christiana, where do you want me to leave? You know what we're gonna do. It's like
you're leaving it right there because you're going down those stairs. It's fine.
yeah, because I can always grab it if we stay downstairs.
So hang on. Let me. Let's see. Grab your tokens here and put them. So you are emerging, at those stairs. So you're actually, coming down kind of in the main hall again, and you know that the stairs to get to those little places are, here and here.
Okay.
All right.
But we never went in those rooms before, right?
That's correct.
All right. So let's Trina's hands free, peeping in the rooms.
Yeah. So moving to back to the third floor token, I'm just going to reveal those. Just because nothing leaps out at you or anything.
Okay,
but
cool.
So going to the west one first, it just seems to be some sort of like just a study area or a lounge or something like that. It's just a little bit out of the way. It has windows that overlook the south grounds, and as you're kind of poking around in there, you don't find much of interest, but there is a message carved into the windowsill. And what it says is, I used to come up here, look out over the city, and wish I was home. Then I realized I already was. What I was is gone. What I am becoming is better. The world outside these walls is nothing compared to the power within.
Okay.
That's not creepy.
Actually, it's kind of comforting.
Yeah, it's a lot less creepy than most of the other stuff we've been finding.
In fact, I think that's more or less the original vision of the Reclaimers Academy. The idea that it could make you better. The idea that it was a place to study and to learn and to grow.
Yeah, but just based on what we know about this place, I don't think it's a good thing that they felt at home.
Well, that may have been written or carved before the evil set in.
Just because someone set your home on fire doesn't mean wasn't a good place before they did that.
Okay.
I kind of feel bad for the students.
Mm-hmm.
Thankfully, I don't have that problem. Master Finster is extraordinary.
Okay. Do we need to check out the tower in the east?
Yeah, so when you check that one, you don't find anything like really obvious at first, but then at one point you realize that tucked behind one of the couch cushions is a small vial that has some kind of a liquid in it.
Okay.
Let's investigate. Who has the potion sniffing? I forget.
Isn't there that rule that you can just like taste a little bit to see what it does? Is that
Yep.
right?
Yes. You taste
that a
like
cleric
just like
or a
tiny,
medicine
tiny
thing?
drop of it. So that is a general rule with potions. Yeah, you can tell what they do by taking a tiny test, which is one of those things that strains the narrative a little bit, but it's just so mechanically like, how else are you ever going to do it? So
Yeah.
I mean, I can take 10 minutes to find out.
And I'll just take a little taste. Just a
Okay.
little bit.
You find that as you sort of put it on your tongue. It basically doesn't taste like anything at all. But you also realize that like whatever sort of magic awareness guides that potions rule. You know what? Never mind. I'm gonna make this more complicated when I don't think that's ultimately valuable. What I'm gonna actually just say is it doesn't seem to be a potion. It's something else. But I will let let's see. I will let anyone who wants to make an intelligence check.
Oh, that's not going to be
there-
me.
Not
Any
it.
skill appropriate to that?
Derp.
Any particular skill or
Maybe nature, or I guess maybe arcana. I guess it's a little bit complicated.
Said
Okay.
intelligence check?
Yeah.
well, I can do an Arcana check. Maybe I can't.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say maybe arcana, but the DC would be higher because it's not really the obvious one.
I rolled badly anyway.
Okay.
I rolled a total 10.
All right. Yeah. I mean, I think you're all not sure, but
I got a 16.
16. So I think Zinhorn, what you are able to conclude with that is like you don't know what it is, but you know that the sorts of things that are in simple nondescript vials without labels that aren't potions are. They're poisons.
Ah, okay.
So I think you don't necessarily know what kind it is, but you suspect that is what it is. It's some kind of poison.
Okay.
Carolina starts like scraping your tongue.
Odorless, colorless, and not good for you.
Yeah.
Not doing that again, ever.
Mhm.
I mean, I offered. It just takes a while.
Moving on.
Technically, it's not magic though. So like, identify. I don't think. Does
No,
it
you
wouldn't do
identify-
anything for that.
Identify non-magical things. I don't think it does.
Nope.
Are we gonna go check the outbuilding?
That would require going back down to the first floor, but you could certainly do that.
Are you
I
keeping
don't
the
know.
bottle? Are you, Carolina, what are you doing with the bottle of mystery?
Give it to somebody else. I don't do poison.
That
It might come in
Not
useful.
nice.
If nobody else wants, I'll hold on to it for Sorshana to look at. I figure even if this stuff that we're gathering isn't worth anything, she'll have an interest in, just toying with it. Is that her
Even
name?
if it's only
Sorshana?
to
Am I
find
saying
a
it wrong?
counter.
Sora Shana, yeah.
Sorshana, sorry.
Yeah, find a counter for it.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Well, if nobody wants it, I'll
You'll hold on to it?
I swallowed a dagger. What's a little poison?
Part of me just wants to go up the tower and just it's like ripping off the Band-Aid. I feel like we're just like stalling at this point. I just want it to be over.
You were the one that said you didn't like leaving things at your back.
Yeah. There's stalling.
Yeah,
and
but
then
that's
there's
outside. The only things that we didn't check are out those buildings outside, and I'm okay with that.
I rolled an intelligence check for sequential too on the poison, but that was low. So.
Okay. All right. Well, then let's head back up to the tower and see what's up there.
All right. So you return back to where you had left the the mirror. You're carrying it with you again.
Yep.
Okay, let me put it in
Fragile side facing my face with the shirt over it.
Sure. So as you move into the big round room here, what you see is what you suspect was perhaps some kind of a dining room or study room. It has lots of tables and chairs laid out and mostly intact. It's set up kind of just like a communal dining room, and it's one of the more intact rooms you've seen so far, except for the enormous hole in the floor exposing the room below. You do recall when you were in the next level down, you looked up and saw the hole in the ceiling. And in fact, if you look further up here, there is yet a larger hole in the ceiling of this level. But you can't see anything above, though. Like it's just dark when you try to look through the hole from below. But you also see in this room that one wall has a big carved sort of it's almost like like a school motto or something would be engraved in a prominent place, but the letters seem to be in a script that looks kind of like sort of different transforming flame as characters. And so if any of you speak Primordial, you would be able to read it, but I don't think any of you do.
Do we want to know what it says? I know a trick.
I do not know Primordial, but that would be interesting. I'd like to know. If it doesn't burn a spell slot, it could be important.
Okay.
Well,
Walk over and touch it.
Okay. Are you casting the spell or doing the ritual?
I'm doing it without casting a spell slot.
Oh, do you
That's
have
part of my class.
Have a teacher for that? Oh, nice.
Comprehend languages.
Great. So, so it is written in Ignan, which is the dialect of Primordial from the Fire Plane. And what it says is, if you must speak, have something worth saying. If you must act, have something worth doing. If you must live, have a life worth living. If you must die, have a worthy death.
That seems reasonable, actually. I mean, it could be sinister in the wrong hands, but it's kind of summarized as do your best.
Even in your final moments.
Well, of course. I think it's even more important then, isn't it? I mean, you don't give up on the last question of the exam.
So, how high up is the ceiling?
It's probably like 30 feet. It's a big room with a high ceiling.
Well, I was just because I was wondering if I could use like dancing lights and direct them up to the hole to see
probably.
if I can shed any light up there.
Yeah, you probably could.
I'll give it a shot.
Okay. So the lights do go up in there, and you can see them, but they don't really seem to show you much else in the room from this angle. It's a little bit weird. Like, you would expect to see more of like what's the ceiling or the walls up there, but you still don't really see anything except your own lights kind of hovering. Now there is just the spiral stairs going up, so you can just go up the stairs. But the only other thing you find here in the this dining room is I think maybe it catches your eye, Carolina, because it's the sort of thing you've seen in taverns and stuff before, is that on one of the tables in the corner, there is a series of, like, gouges in
between the fingers.
Yeah, yeah. Wow, you guessed before I even really finished saying the whole thing. But, yeah, a place where people play that, the game where you
Mumbly Pig. Yeah.
Well, five-finger fillet is what they call it in Red Dead Redemption. But yeah, the game where you do the dagger between your fingers. But there's a place where clearly that has been played a lot. Like, there's a spot for it.
It's interesting.
In looking at the edges of the hole, can I figure out the kind of thing that happened to it? Was it sort of acid or fire or force?
You think it was some kind of a detonation. You, just based on looking at the edges of it, you would guess it's more force than fire. But a fireball can still cause a shockwave, but it doesn't really look like it was burned so much as just blasted.
I have a mechanics question about an item.
Okay.
The gravity nullifier ring. Like, is that something, like, if I decide that I'm done with that, can I stop using it? Or does it go for an hour and I can't
It goes
turn
for
it
an
off?
hour, but you have control over what it's doing during that hour. You can't turn it off and then save it for later. You have the power that it gives you for an hour and then it's done, but it's not like you're stuck floating. You can control your upward or downward movement as you like during that hour.
Okay. So I'm going to pull this out, and I'm just really curious. Like, the basement definitely had a no pole. This one is probably also a no pole, but it doesn't smell as bad.
Well, you also have just the stairs. So.
Well, I know.
Okay, I'm just saying.
I would like
if
to
you wanna
float
float
out
through
the
hole,
room.
I am on board. I just wanted to make sure that you
And
don't
I've had
decide
this
to
thing
use
for a
your-
while, so.
Yeah, I just want I just wanted to make sure that you knew that there were stairs available. If you want to use the item anyway, it's fine. I love it.
My thinking is that I'll go up there and sort of like advance scout, see what I can see before we charge up through the stairs, like, and create a bottleneck. So, just my thought.
Okay.
So, I'm gonna try this.
Okay.
So I'm gonna activate the ring, and I'm gonna float up to the ceiling.
So when you activate the ring, all the little gears and clockworks on it start spinning. And at first, it's just in your hand. You feel almost like when you hold a gyroscope, there's just sort of an odd force about it when you try to move it around. And then you gradually realize that that feeling is kind of all around you and that you can just kind of will yourself to rise into the air. And it takes you a little bit. You can't move super fast, but you can, move 20 feet in 6 seconds and then continue up. Are you just peeking your head above the level, or?
Yeah, my idea is to go straight up to, like, the edge of the hole and then sort of, like, peer up and around, because I've got the dancing lights up there, so.
Yeah, you do. All right, let me.
She can fly too? Wow.
Apparently.
She sings, she flies,
I
she
don't have
kills
your token on
monsters.
here
What
at all.
can't
so
you do?
probably can't see anything right now, right? Like on your screen, right? Yes. Okay. Yeah.
No.
That's what I thought. I was just trying to make sure that I had the view right. So, bloop.
I mean,
Now-
ironically, I can see everything.
Okay. All right. I don't know why that would be. Like, no one's token is on there except Carolina's now, but it doesn't matter. So let's just, like, not worry about it. There's only one room to look at. So what you see is that it's a relatively small room, but it's a room almost like it's an observation deck where there's just windows all around that open to, like, a balcony. But there is definitely something up there that's just like clinging to all of the walls and ceiling and everything in there that is just like, it almost looks like someone just took the whole room and just put a layer of black paint over everything.
Can I direct the dancing lights to touch the edges of these windows that are painted black just to see?
I mean, they don't
So,
really
like-
have much physicality to them, but you can like move them up very close.
Yeah, but like one on each kind of corner there. So there's 4, right?
Yeah. So so the room is now lit. It's just like I said, it's like the texture of everything is black. So like you can see where the walls and ceiling and floor and windows are, except you can't see through the windows because it's just all black. Like I said, like someone has like painted everything. And it's very deep black too, which is why like it looked weird from below, like it was just darkness, and you realize now it's just because it's like literally it's all covered with black.
How
But
how high are the
nothing's-
ceilings in this? Like, how far away is she?
She's like 30 feet up from
Oh,
you
okay.
guys.
And I'll just sort of point upward at her and mutter, "Do you see anything? Is Sombra there? Or Onyx Bane?" You hear that in your head.
No one I can see. It's all black. I assume I can answer that back,
Yep.
correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, yeah, it's, you know, you can see everything, but it does look a little bit strange. Like, you've seen things painted black before, but this is very, very black. Like, it deceives the eye a little bit. You know,
Does it look
in a
like
meta
there's a
description, you know, and if everyone has seen like those viral photos of like, oh, the super black thing,
Vanta Black?
Vanta Black, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that it's essentially, it looks like that. You can only just barely make out where like the wall becomes the ceiling and everything, because everything is just, you know, it's really only when you like are moving the lights around that you can kind of get a glimpse of the rest of it, like the shape of everything.
Does that look like a door to the outside balcony there? Like, is it?
Yeah, you can sort
open?
of just it's closed though. Yeah, you can tell
Okay.
that that's probably what it is, but it is closed.
Okay. So I will make my way back down.
So you didn't see anything?
Well, and then I will kind of explain what she just described, because I don't feel I need to rehash all of that. The black was very strange though, like it was more than black.
How
Like-
much more black could a room be? The answer is none. None
Well-
more black.
Okay, so do you guys remember when the living color attacked that person and just like it was like unnaturally black? What the victim, like that's what it reminds me of a little bit.
So it could be another extension of another being from another space. Although from everything that's around here, it's more like the being exploded and was painted all over the walls. Oh, I've got to get a sample.
I don't know
Start
that I
climbing
would
up the
really
stairs.
recommend touching it.
Yeah, every room that we've walked into, as soon as we get in there, like the darkness coalesces into something that we have to fight. So, let's just put a hold on sample collection.
So there is a door, and I would recommend that as soon as we get upstairs, go straight to the door and out to the balcony part.
So
The
Nedry
lobby.
was heading up the stairs. Is everyone else following? Or
Yep.
go ahead and just bring everything
Yeah.
up onto this level.
Go straight through the door, she says.
Is the door covered in the same blackness? It's not.
Hang on, wait. Who am I missing? Oh, Trina.
I'm leaving the mirror down there for now until I see that it's safe to bring it
so
up.
technically, you have just you guys just moved your token out there. But what happens is, as you go to grab the door, all of a sudden you hear sort of a swirling whoosh sound, and now all of a sudden the stairs where you had just come up, is sort of just covered over with black, where it looks just like the rest of the floor now. And then the hole that the hole in the floor seems to cover itself up now as well. And then, sure enough, the black seems to swirl together and rise up to form a shadowy shape. Like Paul kind of called it, guessed. He's like, oh yeah, the thing that keeps happening. We're gonna roll initiative as a large shadowy creature shows up. And let's. I'm gonna remove everyone from the tracker and have you roll again. Everyone get your initiatives on there, and then we're gonna roll initiative while I put on some battle music. How about that, huh?
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Trying to remember how to roll initiative. It's
I just rolled initiative, so
Okay.
if you can add it.
Oh yeah. What did
Yeah.
you get first?
10.
Okay. Great. All right. And so, as this creature is sort of swirling up into view, you also detect that the sound you've been hearing seems like it's coming from it. Like it's making the sound. All right. Let me roll for it. I've got to get the page with the stats for the creature. There it is. Okay.
Can you add me to the tracker? I don't think I can do that myself.
Okay. I think you can right-click your token and do add turn, but I just did it for you.
No, only the GM has that capability.
Okay. Everyone else added themselves. I didn't have to do
By
it.
clicking on a sheet, right?
I don't know.
yeah. I wasn't able to add I had to roll my initiative in D20 in D&D Beyond to get it
Somehow
on
your
here.
initiative is 9.14.
I don't know. I clicked the initiative button and that's what it did. I'm looking at it now, trying to figure out why.
The point something is actually your dex for tie breaking.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, because someone else got a 9.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Why did it roll my?
I don't know.
Because somebody else rolled a 9?
I don't know. Maybe. set to do that?
It's supposed to do that by default, I think, depending on the GM settings.
All right. Well, I've never seen
Oh.
it do that before, but Carolina and Sequential both got 10s, so you're
Wow,
there.
everybody rolled low.
Yeah. So,
Eesh.
so Carolina and Sequential, who's Sequential's got a 14
Plus
dex.
2 dex. Yeah.
And
14.
mine is a +3.
Okay, so Carolina's ahead of Sequential.
Aw. Okay. Not going first. Okay, good.
Okay. All right. So, Nedry, you are up first.
All right. Well, that's not entirely unexpected. So, I reach over, tag, and just gently prod Trina's leg and
Okay.
cast protection from good and evil.
All right.
And then I'm going to move around to the other side of the room. Which is only there
Is the rally beacon still active?
Yes, but you don't know for how much longer because it was for an hour and you guys weren't paying careful attention.
Okay, I'm gonna put it back
It is
in
currently
beyond
still active.
20.
Yeah. I mean-
So you get a +1 AC.
All right. So
if you're within
Thank
15
you.
15 feet. Okay.
No,
Wow,
no.
that's
That was
No,
with the
okay.
initial activation.
Right. It is. So everyone got it when it was used. It lasts for an hour. That's all of it. You
Oh,
have
okay.
the bonus. Yeah. It was only when it's cast. Right. So, Carolina, it's your turn.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So, I don't like the look of this thing. It hasn't attacked yet, but it might. And so, using my unsettling words, bardic inspiration thing, I will sort of look at it and say, look, we don't really want any trouble, and I'm sure you don't want any trouble from us because, just look at us. I mean, we made it all the way through this house, and nothing's killed us yet, so we must be pretty tough. So I would probably think twice about bringing any, attacks against us.
Okay.
Something like that.
So
I petered out at the end there, but I think
Trying to
the
do this
point
off
was
the top of my head. I don't know.
Yeah. No, that's fine. Yeah.
It was unsettling.
What is it supposed to do? What
That it has the 1d6 that it has to subtract from
okay,
the
but,
next
like, does it get a
saving throw?
or what is it like? Do I have to make a saving throw? What's happening? What is your
Hold on.
Okay.
And one creature I could see within 60 feet. The creature has to roll 1d6 and subtract the rolled number from the next saving throw it makes before
Okay,
the start of
but
my next
does it
turn.
get to make a saving throw to avoid that, or
No.
oh, hang on. Are you use it your bardic inspiration for it? Okay, yeah,
Yes.
yeah, okay. You do have to use that, so make sure you use that
Yeah.
up, and then that will apply. Yeah,
Yup. So
it is
does that.
anti-inspiration. All right.
Yes. And yeah, I'm going to, because that's a bonus action, so I will hold Mind Sliver at the first sign that it makes an attack against somebody.
Okay. All right. Sequential. So, Jenny playing sequential. What does sequential do?
They are going to hold their action and hold a firebolt, and the moment it attacks, it'll unleash the firebolt.
Okay. All right. So, that would be. It makes it its turn. Go ahead and roll that firebolt because it is going right after Carolina.
Okay.
Oh no!
Because you talked to it. And you
You
challenged
unsettled it.
Yeah.
That is
You called its mother an elderberry.
that is an 18.
18 does hit.
Okay. And that is 2 points of damage.
All right.
First blood has been struck.
Yep. The fire is absorbed into its shadowy form with a tiny little it's coming right after you, Carolina, and it is going to, let's see, it's got a couple of, yeah, okay, so it's basically gonna come at you. Its mouth like gapes open horrifically wide, and it's like it's leaning in to bite you. But it only gets an 11 to hit, so that probably doesn't hit.
Nope. Does this trigger Mind Sliver as well then?
Yeah. So what do I need to do?
Wait. Yeah, it needs to make a
Intelligence.
That didn't do the intelligence 14.
It failed.
Ooh. Well, it only takes 2 points of damage. Let's see.
But
And the first time.
But
What?
You both started talking,
second,
and then you
go
both
ahead.
stopped
Go
talking.
the second part of that. It has a special effect.
In the first time, it makes a saving throw before the end of my next turn. It must roll a d4 and subtract the number rolled from the save.
Okay. So now it's going to have that and the unsettling words both doing it.
Well, no, the unsettling words would have been on this one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Before the start of your next turn is what her feature says.
Right, once.
But it's a saving throw.
And it just made one.
Oh, okay. Well, it failed that already. Okay. All right. Fine. So, yes. I didn't roll that, but it failed anyway. So, yes. Okay.
It
now-
failed it even worse,
Yes.
Christiana.
Okay. Let's move on. We're moving on. Okay. Guys have weird features. It's confusing. Go ahead. Try it. It's your turn. This thing just tried to bite your Carolina.
You're Carolina.
Thanks for making her mad before my turn, guys. Good job. So, yeah, she's going to go in swinging with her scimitar.
Do you get to call your...
I've only got one of those left, so I'm holding it because we've fought this kind of fella before, I do believe. So
I feel like
this is
is
the
like
last
the big
room
bad.
in the place.
This is
this
the guy.
is the last room.
Yeah.
This is the dude.
I mean, there's probably a closet where a massive big bad is hiding.
Yeah, I feel like as soon as I'm going to rage,
it.
guys. I'm going to rage if y'all promise that you won't be mad at me for not having
Do
any
it.
rages left.
Do it.
Jingle, jingle, jingle. Y'all just like me mad. So, yeah, she's going to rage
Okay.
and swing that scimitar.
Go ahead and move. Oh, look. A crit. Move
Whoa.
to where you're in melee, though.
Although it moved, right? To get closer to Carolina.
Oh, yeah.
I'm dancing with it.
All right.
So
So,
then for
yeah.
damage, 2, so that's a 4.
Well, make sure you're rolling double, though. Double.
Oh,
double
yeah,
dice,
okay.
crit, yeah.
Another d6. 2, so 6. So that's a total of 8 with my damage
Yeah.
boost.
You slash at it, and it takes that damage.
and then
Make a dexterity saving throw.
Sorry?
Make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, fine. Dexterity.
All right. You realize
18.
in time that as you move to where that hole is, even though you cannot currently see it because the floor looks uniformly black, apparently the hole is still there because you almost just stepped in it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Watch your step, friends. The holes are still here.
All right. That.
I'd like to swing
you can
with
make
my
your other
short
attack.
sword,
Sure. Yeah. Go ahead.
if I may.
You may. I just figured you would want to know that there was a hole there.
No, that is crucial information. I really greatly appreciate it.
There's another
That
way you
was the
might have
wrong
found out.
thing. And that is a 22 to hit.
That will definitely hit.
And that is 7 points of damage.
But you see that this non-magical sword seems to sort of partially phase through it and doesn't do as much damage.
Hmm. And then, because I did hit it,
You did.
my gal pals
That's
are
right.
going to surround it.
Yeah.
Give it all kinds of stink eye.
Yeah, that's right. So it's gonna. It's looking like you have its attention now. Zinhorn, you're up.
Nedry waves happily to see them.
They wave back, I'm sure.
All right. I am going to cast Sacred Flame. So it's got a save on it against Dex versus 12. And
Okay.
it's got that
It
save
does?
negative,
Yeah.
Minus
Four.
D4.
yeah, minus 1d4 modifier.
It's probably gonna fail. Let's go ahead and subtract that d4. It's gonna get an 11.
And it failed.
That's Sacred Flame. Is that what you were doing?
Yep, Sacred Flame.
All right, roll that Sacred Flame damage.
Oh, max damage, 8 points.
Nice.
And I will cast my last spell, Spiritual Hammer.
Spiritual Hammer.
And oh, crit!
Nice.
Sweet. The cleric's excited, y'all.
All right, so I rolled. It rolled a 3 for damage, which is a 5, and I get another D8 with that, right?
Yeah. So it looks like what it did is it rolled. So you have that 4, which is your first roll in the modifier, and then the 3 is the second roll. So it's 7. See what it below your crit
Oh.
it has the 4, and then the 3 is the force critical damage.
Hold on.
I mean, I'm telling you that's what it's.
Oh, okay, it did it already, and then
Yeah. Yeah.
okay,
All right.
all right, all right. I'm just gonna trust that it knew what it was doing.
It did, and it's
Okay.
and it's good.
I must have.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. It's good. You did it. Good job.
I did it. Yay! And now I need my spiritual hammer, which you have already provided. Thank
Yep.
you.
Is that where you want it?
This is. Is there a way for me to put it like between someone and the hole so they don't actually fall in the hole?
I mean, there's not really like room right now. Like, I mean, unless
Okay.
you wanted to put
All right.
it, like,
Then
up
that's
here
fine.
or something.
Yeah, I was thinking like just so that sequential doesn't accidentally fall in a hole.
Sure. All right.
Yeah, that works.
Okay. So, Nedry, you are up again.
Am I considered to be adjacent to it? I'm just
Yes.
trying to make sure I. Okay.
You're in like the diagonal because it's a large creature.
And okay, it's not out to hit anyway. Yeah, he'll sort of quickly trace out a rough circle of a brain and then across through it to cast a mind sliver.
Okay.
Mind sliver.
It's going to make another intelligence saving throw. No
Yep.
longer has any deficit this time.
Nope.
Still rolled like crap though. So now it gets another deficit.
So target of 14. So
yeah, it did not.
if that
pass. It did. Yeah.
okay. 6 points of psychic damage.
All right. Yeah, you guys are whittling it down. You're doing it. Good job.
And I'm going to slowly sidle around,
Okay.
but stay kind of there.
Yeah. Make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, whoops. This is gonna hurt. Yeah. 10.
10. You find yourself stumbling, but you are able to remain like You fall prone, but on this level, you don't fall through the hole, but you kind of fall on your butt, scrambling back from it.
So one foot kind of fell in and then kind of
Yeah.
fell backward.
Right.
Oh, that hole's bigger.
Yeah. All right. That is Carolina's turn.
All right. Well, I am going to do my thing there where my lips move, but you don't hear anything. Well, none of you hear anything, but the creature hears a very discordant melody, and I am going to cast Dissonant Whispers at
Okay.
2nd level.
All right. What saving throw does it make? With its minus D4.
Wisdom 14, and I believe it's got the minus D4 again.
It
Yep.
is rolling like crap. It has not rolled above a 10 for any of its rolls so far. So yeah, it fails.
And that's 19 damage.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it has to
Doesn't like
move as far as it can away from me.
Yeah, it sure does. And yeah, it does. It
Opportunity
moves
attacks?
right now, right? It's what it does. Is it?
Yeah, I
it
believe
moves right
so.
away?
Ooh, yeah, opportunity.
Is that right? Must use its. It must use its reaction if available. Yeah. Okay. It does that. So that's opportunity attacks from Nedry, Trina, Carolina, and Zinhorn, and the spiritual hammer doesn't get opportunity attacks. Nedry's is with disadvantage because he is
Shoot.
prone.
I don't have a weapon out anyway, so.
Okay. Yeah, 10 won't hit.
Yeah, that won't hit.
Yeah, that hit. 21 to
Yeah.
hit.
Nice.
And that's the +1 rapier. 8 damage.
All right.
Okay, I have
Magical
a question,
damage.
Christiana.
Yes.
So I have Spiritual Hammer as a bonus action, and when I cast it, I thought I only had 1 2nd level spell slot left, but it didn't check it off.
Okay.
So it appears to me as though I still have a 2nd level spell.
I mean, if you know that you only had 1 slot and it just didn't, I mean, if you think that if what it is you're saying, oh, I had 1 more slot than I thought, then that's one thing. If you know that you should have used it and it just didn't check the box.
Well, does bonus action actually use it as a spell,
I
or
mean,
is
if
it
it's a
just
second
there?
level, yeah, I mean, if it gets cast as a bonus action, but it costs the spell slot.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I think I only had 1 spell slot left.
Okay.
So
I mean,
I'm gonna hit the cast button, and if it doesn't check it, then
Okay.
then we'll know what happened. And if it does, I don't know.
Okay.
We'll
How
figure
about
this
you?
out.
Okay.
All right. So,
Yeah.
bing. All right, and it did not fill it for that. So I'm going to try Guiding Bolt, which is what it
Okay.
looks like. I get it for free.
No,
Let's
well,
see.
you don't get Guiding Bolt for free. You don't.
Not Guiding Bolt.
Okay.
It looks like I got Spiritual Hammer for free. It did not actually check it off for
Okay. so-
Guiding Bolt either. So that was clearly a mistake. I do not have a 2nd level spell.
Okay.
Okay.
So just ignore all of those dice rolls
All right.
and
Okay. So you make a mace attack. That's all you can do with an opportunity attack anyway.
okay.
Yeah.
Then I will swing my mace.
Yeah.
And I got a 10.
Okay, 10 is gonna miss. So, Trina got it, or Carolina got a hit in, but now it's sequential.
Okay, he used all of his spell slots before the game, so
It makes it easier.
yeah, I'm just gonna cast Frostbite.
Okay.
So it has to make a DC 13 Constitution saving throw.
Okay. It does succeed on that with a 14.
Okay, so it takes
Is it probably nothing?
nothing.
on a-
Yeah, nothing.
Cantrip. All right. But yeah, it's already looking a little bit more ragged than it started, for sure. Okay, is Sequential going to move at all?
No. I'm gonna stay where I am just because like everything I can do is pretty much at distance anyway.
Sure.
So.
Okay. Well, it is this thing's turn again, and it is going to zoom back over to first try to bite at Trina. And it gets an 18 to hit.
That hits.
Okay.
It's a disadvantage, remember.
From
The protection from good and evil. If it's something undead or
It
a
is
bear.
not.
Okay.
It's not undead. It is an aberration.
It still works on those too, though.
Okay, well, if it does, then like, are you sure? If so, then
Just doubly checking here. Types of creatures: aberrations, celestials,
sure.
elementals, fey, fiends, and undead.
all right.
Thank
Okay,
you.
so it misses then. However, something that it can actually also do as a bonus action is what's called Savage Rend, which tears into any adjacent prone creature.
Oh no.
Yeah, this is
That's
not an
me.
attack roll. It's just a thing that it does.
An automatic murder.
Well,
Probably.
Ouch.
yeah, it does 26 slashing damage to you, Nedry.
Holy crap.
And I need a
I had
Constitution
24
saving throw.
points, so I am out. So
Oh,
concentration
nice.
is down.
Does
All right.
does the ancestral protectors do anything? He should have resistance, right? Or
yes,
is there a
yes,
Okay,
because
okay.
they have resistance on any damage that they take. Yeah, so you
Yes.
are only going to take half of that, 13 slashing damage. Nedry.
praise the ladies?
Because,
How
the attack
how
is
far are you
softened
down?
By, I do still need a Constitution saving throw.
Yeah. Just gotta make sure I do my calculation here. So, oops.
How far are you down, Nedry?
Oh, he's at half. Let's see.
Yeah.
Concentration. That is a 16, so no problem.
Okay. Yeah, so you succeed. You feel it trying to pull you into the floor somehow, but you are able to resist it. And,
Ow.
How lucky, because, Trina's spiritual buddies, psychic connections.
Nice to meet you
managed
guys.
to
Oh.
soften the blow enough that you were not dragged unconscious into the floor. All right, Trina, it is your turn.
Oh, she's extra mad now after she hit on Nedry. After that thing hit on Nedry, so she's gonna swing with her scimitar. It's really all she can do. I
20
critted?
does hit.
No, it's an unnatural 20.
Oh, it's an unnatural 20. And then the damage.
Critted on that, though.
So that's actually 9 with the rage bonus.
Yep.
And then the why am I having so much trouble with that showing up? Sorry. There it is. Ew.
An
That
8.
short sword's a stinker.
Yeah. Well, I'm just marveling at how the combination of concentration check for the protection from good and evil there, Nedry.
Hmm.
Yeah, I did that. That's a 16
okay.
that I
No,
rolled.
okay. I need a different Constitution check saving throw then,
Oh, okay.
because
I thought that was-
one
that was
from
four.
the attack as well.
That is also 16, actually.
Okay, well, good. You're fine then. Okay.
Yay.
But the combination in this particular case of casting protection from good and evil on her, and then her rage effect makes it only able to attack her, and it has to be at disadvantage. That's pretty good. All right. In any event,
We're killing
I
it.
mean, it can technically, if it's going to be at disadvantage anyway, it can actually attack anybody. So I think it's going to figure that out on its next turn. But Trina just went and because you're still on the edge of the hole and you're slashing at a monster, make another dexterity saving throw, please.
I should move.
Yeah, you're okay. All right.
Not knowing where the hole is, I'm afraid to move for fear of falling in
Yeah,
it.
so as you're kind of stepping around, you keep sort of like feeling like, oh, yep, the tip of my toes are not touching anything at the moment, so it's right there, I guess, but I'm really close. But it's hovering over the hole, so it's basically making you get close to the edge of the hole in order to be in melee with it.
Yeah.
Almost like it's a strategy. All right, Zinhorn, your turn.
All right. I am going to cast Sacred Flame.
Okay. It makes
Dex.
a dexterity saving throw, and this time it gets a 22 because it can't roll terribly forever.
Okay.
Yeah. But you attacking with your spiritual hammer? Okay.
Yep. Hold on. Spiritual hammer. I rolled a 14.
Okay. A 14 just hits.
Okay, and that's
8 damage.
8 damage. Yep.
I don't remember what all of these blue and green dots were for, so I'm turning them on. They serve their purpose, obviously. I put them there so that I would remember. But I'm pretty sure that what I would put them there for passed already. Anything else, Zinhorn? Can you move?
Nope,
over?
that's it.
Great. So, Nedry, you're up again. You can stand up if you like.
So I'm going to take the dodge action,
Okay.
stand up, and then kind of move an edge back along the wall. That's where I get to. What is it I'm standing on?
It's like a couch.
Oh, okay. And just sort of call out, so which splinter are you? Onyx Bane? That's it.
As you do, you do that, and so it does make an opportunity attack as you move away. But
Oh,
with
sorry.
disadvantage, because it's dodge action, right? Or did you mean disengage?
I meant disengage. Sorry.
Okay, yeah.
Because I wanted to move away without trying to kill me. So.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. You're good then. So then, Carolina, your turn.
All right. Well, I saw Nedry take that hit, and I have a feeling I can maybe help. So, I'm going to. I'm clicking on the wrong screen. Haha. Slide past Zinhorn here,
Okay.
and I will reach out to Nedry, and I am going to use my magic initiate feat and cast Cure Wounds.
Ooh.
6 points back to you, Nedry.
Thank you.
And then my bonus action. Oh, let me see. I got one left.
Yeah.
And trying to eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving.
Yeah. Okay. So, I think China is the most capable here, so I will look at her over my shoulder and say, "Oh, heroes of legend are we, though the stories name few. It was you, it was me. Through hope and fear, we have beat back the darkness. A legion of heroes of legend are we." And you now have a 1d6 bardic inspiration.
Hey. All right. Sequential.
Yeah, they're just gonna try to cast the firebolt again.
Okay. Can he do his arcane cannon again?
No. Like everything is used right now.
All right.
Everything.
Okay.
So
Frostbite again?
no, firebolt.
Oh, firebolt. All right.
that is probably not going to hit. It's 8.
Well, no, that one.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, it is its turn again, and it doesn't like attacking you anymore, Trina, and it's frustrated about just this whole like thing.
I get it.
But not only did that little gnome, no, you know what? It's not going to do that. It's just thrashing out. It's gonna. It doesn't want to move and risk more opportunity attacks. No. See, Nedry, here's what the mistake you made.
Oh.
You said the name.
Oh.
Sure.
So, Trina gets to make an opportunity attack.
Okay.
Why did I get moved backwards?
I didn't move you backwards. You didn't move backwards. It had moved, like it moved away.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It never. Oh, okay. I see.
Okay.
So I don't get an
Yeah,
opportunity
Trina gets
attack.
right on her opportunity attack. So roll that damage.
That's a crit.
May have
That's nasty.
critted.
Yeah.
And then I need to roll another d6.
All right.
I have a question.
Plus 2.
Yes.
So it's 5 plus 4 plus 2, so 11.
Yeah. Yes.
Because I'm
yes,
still raging.
Yes, Jenny. Question?
His Eldritch Cannon, if he cast that and created it, that means that he has it right now? Or is I mean
it lasts an hour though, right? So I think it's actually let's say
it's
he
probably
has it.
gone.
Well, let's say he has it, but let's not retcon anything.
Yeah, no, I was
Yes.
just curious because I was looking at it and I thought that meant that
I
it
think
was
he
gone.
did have it out during the last fight, but you guys also kind of wandered around for a while. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what?
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna say it's worn off.
Okay,
sorry.
yep.
Yeah.
I just wanted to double check because when you said that, I was like, wait a minute. I started reading down
Yeah.
further, but
Also, the rally beacon wears off now. So just so you guys know, that's
Oh,
no longer
okay.
in effect.
And that was a +1 to AC?
yeah.
Yep.
Okay, let me fix that.
All right. So it takes that hit. It's looking kind of a lot more ragged than it started. But it is going to attack you, Nedry, at disadvantage
Okay.
because of the whole psychic thing. And that's going to be a 13 to hit.
It's not enough.
All right. It doesn't hit, I guess. All right. Okay. Trying not to be disappointed that my monster is rolling like crap, can't do anything.
I know
All
this
right.
pain. I know this
Yeah.
pain well.
It's great for you guys. Trina, your turn.
It's Sim time. I mean, what other time would it be?
Yeah.
Okay, so that is a...
It's out of
Oh.
range. It moved away.
Okay, so I'll move
make it-
closer,
Yeah, make a dexterity saving throw.
which I forgot I actually get to do that at advantage.
If it's something you can see.
It says if I'm not blinded, deafened, or incapacitated. Is that different?
Danger sense is it's specifically from an effect you can see. I will.
Okay. No, that's cool. No, I wasn't sure. That's what I was asking.
Sure. Yeah.
I thought if I
don't-
wasn't blinded, deafened, or incapacitated, it might.
Yeah,
So I was
it's- Yeah,
asking.
it specifically says advantage on dex saving throws against effects that you can see while
Okay.
not blinded. So I think in this case, the fact that the hole is obscured, like you're aware it's there but can't see where it is. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
But yeah, so go ahead and make your. Oh, but you critted on
I
it.
critted.
So yeah, you're fine.
I crit that.
Yeah. Mhm. So you got a 12 with your scimitar though, which misses.
Mhm.
You can still.
And
attack
then
with your
my short sword, please.
The 16 does hit.
Nice.
All
So
right.
that's 8 plus 2, but it's not magical.
Right. So it only takes half that. But it's still like it's like you guys have done some significant damage to it. It's drooping by comparison. Zinhorn, you're up.
All right. I am going to move. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to move over here, and I'm going to cast, not Firebolt, Sacred Flame.
Okay.
So it needs to make a Dex saving throw 12, and then the Spiritual Hammer needs to move closer to it.
It failed the saving throw, so go ahead and roll.
Okay.
Sacred Flame. It's got a plus 4, and it keeps rolling like 3s and stuff.
Wow.
I know this pain.
I mean, you guys are fighting this smart on top of it rolling badly, so like you're doing good.
Yep.
I don't want you to not get credit for that.
Okay. Well, it got takes 7 points of damage from that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I need to roll my hit. That's a 15.
15 hits.
Okay. And another 7 points of damage for a total of 14.
All right. Okay. Nedry. This thing came after
Okay.
you said its name.
Yeah,
Or it said
he looks-
unnamed that it seemed to react to.
it did seem that way. Now he's genuinely curious. So as he's tracing out a spell in the midair, he's kind of asking, so was there something in the ritual went wrong, or was one of your components not quite up to par, or did someone interfere with the ritual? And I cast Mind Sliver.
Okay. It makes an intelligence saving throw.
Yes.
Natural 20. So
Whoop.
succeeds.
Okay.
Yeah. This time. Is that one a nothing if it succeeds?
That's right.
All right. This time, you sense it, leering down at you, furious.
But does it answer? That's what he's thinking
It
right
doesn't
now.
say
But wait,
anything.
I know I tried to hurt it, but does it answer me?
All right. Carolina.
All right, well, it worked before, so I'm going to try this again, and I'm going to cast Dissonant Whispers.
Okay.
Just
And what saving wisdom saves? Natural 1
Ooh,
for 14 psychic damage. Yeah, like
yeah.
you see it start to tremble and raise its hands to its head, and then it just sort of like melts, and gradually you look all around the room, and just like suddenly this black paint that was everything is just dripping away, like melting ice or dripping tar, and it's just dripping away until it like drips down the hole. And so
Wait,
now
I have so many
only does it
questions.
disappear, but now the room no longer looks all coated in black that way. It's you see the hole in the floor once again. You can see through the windows, although all that you see out there is the same gray mist that's everywhere. But there is now beginning another one of these emotions. You don't memories, cutscene things. You don't actually even see anything that you trigger. It just happens.
It's a moat, y'all.
Yeah.
MIR.
But so what happens is, hang on. Okay, scroll up to where it is. So you see an elderly dwarven woman wearing some sort of an ornate circlet on her head, and she isn't standing in the center of the room. You see sort of the spectral image of the floor before it was destroyed, and she is in the middle of some powerful ritual. There's magical energy swirling around her in all sorts of arcane shapes. Emerging from the top of the stairs, you see Isilda, still injured, tries to rush towards her, but something stops her. Some invisible force just stops her short and then slams her back against the wall, which you can see her react to her injury. She's like, it's bad, whatever it is. It's not just painful. She's bleeding a lot. And in fact, you realize that a lot of the blood in this particular stain might be hers for the first time, as opposed to her victims. But you, she is groaning against the wall and says, "Please stop. You can't." And the Arcanist shouts, "That is not your decision to make. You have no right to hide such power from the world. There are evils that roam the plains because you refuse to share what you know." And Isilda grimaces, and she starts removing something from a pocket, something that's held in one hand that you can't quite see because it's just the size of her hand. And she says, "Not evils, nightmares. And your pursuit of that knowledge has made new nightmares of us both." And the Arcanist shouts back, "You're the one that slaughtered their way through innocence to get here." And Isilda replies, "Better for them to die innocent than to follow where you lead." And then the Arcanist, "No, you will see what can be done with someone of true courage in control. Well, perhaps you won't." But then, as she's looking down at Isilda and looks like she's raising her hand about to do something, the circlet just lifts off her head. And you see her gasp in shock and turn, and you can see in the shadows against the wall created by all of this arcane light in the ritual, you see, just like you had in that one other room, a shadow cast by something that doesn't appear to be in the room, but in the shadow, it's holding the circlet up. So you see the circlet just hovering in the air, but in the shadow, you see a shadowy figure has lifted it up. And Balin, the Arcanist, gasps in shock. "What? Sombra, what are you doing?" And the magic field around her becomes unstable. And as then she is reacting to that, you see Isilda has pulled out this thing that she had in her pocket, and it looks like a deck of some kind of cards. It's fancy cards that look like tarot cards or something of that type of card. But she holds it out, and as she brandishes one of the cards, a whirlwind emerges from it and starts to envelop Balin, Onyxbane, and she says, "This is for all of the innocents that will live because I stopped you." Then the Arcanist disappears into the card. But the magic of this ritual in progress doesn't fade. It begins to swirl into this shrieking vortex. And out of that vortex emerges a frightening creature. Incomprehensible anatomy except for eyes and claws and teeth, floating in the air like a sea creature in the depths. And the entire room begins to pulse, and the walls begin to flex like you're inside some sort of a monstrous heart. And tendrils of darkness travel up the walls, and you can see them penetrate the shadowy silhouette of Sombra on the wall, who begins to thrash in agony, but is unable to release the circlet, which is still hovering in the center of the air. And Isilda looks weak, stricken, but then she turns to look at all of you and says, "Help her!" And we're rolling initiative again. You guys can actually just keep your initiatives. I will roll for the new creature, which is emerging.
Oh no.
Yeah. Yeah. And it looks like this. I'm going to briefly make it bigger just so you can see the artwork. That's what we're fighting.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to come up with a whole new classic creature for this thing.
Yeah. And let me get the stats for it here. And
Oof.
I have actually also Got a new audio track for this one. There we go. All right, and it rolls. There we go. It's a 19 initiative. So it's actually going to go before any of you get to do anything else. It's flying through the air, and it makes 2 claw attacks. Does your protection against good and evil work against monstrosities?
Nope.
Alright, in this case, then, it is not affected by that spell. And it makes a claw attack against Trina and Nedry, who are kind of just standing right there. It's gonna first against Trina, and it gets a 16 to hit. Does that hit?
That hits.
Alright, you're gonna take 10 slashing damage, and you are grappled by its claws. And in the meantime, it also claws at Nedry and gets a 24 to hit.
Yep, that's a hit.
And that's going to be 10 slashing damage to you as well. You are not grappled, though. It's only able to grapple one at a time.
Okay.
And then it also, since you are grappled, Trina, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw for me.
Don't forget you have the 1d6 if you need it.
Thank you.
Maybe not.
Ooh. 21.
Okay, you find that there is some sort of a substance exuded from these claws that is trying to like stiffen your muscles, but you are able to resist it and throw off the effect. All right, so that is its turn. So Nedry, you are up.
Right. Let's see.
So is Isolde still in the room with us?
You see her, but she's still spectral, just like all of these other things. Like, the only thing in the room that seems like it's still this, like it has emerged and seems like real and tangible, and it's attacking you, is this creature. She still looks just like this ghostly figure like you've seen in all of the other memories, except that she addressed you.
Where is Sombra and the circlet?
So the circlet is still hovering in the center of the room, about 8 feet off of where the floor would be, except that it's right over the hole. And then you see, as though there's someone standing right there, you see a cast shadow against the wall, where you see, like, the shadow looks like there's someone standing there holding it, but, you don't see the person in the center of the room, only the shadow.
Okay. This thing looks solid, though. It doesn't look shadowy like the rest of the creatures.
Well, it just slashed at you, and it hurt.
Right, but visibly it looks very different from all those.
Yeah. So all of those other sorts of memories you've seen, everything looks kind of translucent and ghostly, and in fact, the one of Isilda still does.
Okay. Then I think this is different, Trina. And I will drop concentration on that. I succeeded anyway, but I'm going to drop it because I'm going to cast another concentration spell.
Right.
Let's see, what feels appropriate here.
Did you end up using your bardic inspiration, Trina, for that last check, or no? Okay, you still have it then.
Once again, his lips start to crackle as he traces out the silhouette of Zinhorn, and then activates Dragon's Breath once more. Okay. And I'll use lightning again because it was fun.
All right, sure.
That is a bonus action to cast.
Uh-huh.
So I will immediately try to breathe on it.
Okay. It makes dexterity saving throw?
It makes... Yes.
It got a 22.
Half damage.
It is half damage.
Yeah.
Okay. So it takes 10 lightning reduced to half.
Okay.
and then possibly reduced again if it's
No,
resistant.
it takes the half damage. It's not resistant.
Okay, so it's kind of like hawking up a lightning loogie.
Yeah.
He's not very
all right.
elegant at it.
Yep. Carolina.
Could you ping on the map where the circlet is?
It's right in the center,
So, like, under the monster?
above the monster.
Oh, okay. Well, I can still do that. I'm gonna try to fly up there and take the circlet.
So you are like above it. You try to grab it, and your hand goes through it.
Okay. That didn't work.
You are in melee with it, with the creature.
Yeah. Then I guess I'd just attack it with my rapier.
Okay.
Not great. 9.
Nine's not going to do it.
Nope.
All right. Sequential. Jenny?
I couldn't get my window to open. I was looking at my page. I'm going to take a step forward so that I'm within 5 feet,
Okay. Make a dexterity saving
and
throw.
I'm going to cast. That is 16.
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay. I'm going to cast Shocking Grasp. I'm going to reach out and cast Shocking Grasp.
Okay. That's a critical miss. Make another dexterity
Okay.
saving throw.
That is a 17.
Okay, yeah, you're still fine. But you stumbled a little bit. All right. Anything else for sequential?
No.
Okay. Trina. You are still grappled by this thing. It's got you in its claws.
I would like to ungrapple.
Okay. So you can make a basically an athletics or acrobatics check to try to break yourself free of the grapple. And it would be at advantage too since you're raging, but 18 is enough. So you
Well,
are
let's see
able
what
to
the
pull
other one
yourself
is
free
anyways.
from its claws.
Yeah. Yay! So that was my action, though, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Are you going to move? I mean, you could just stay right there.
I think I'm close enough to it. Do I have a bonus action to maintain my rage, or is
yeah,
it just
yeah.
gonna drop?
Yeah, you can. Well, you took damage, so you're.
Oh, I did! Yay, damage! Cool.
took the damage, right? But that,
Yeah,
that
I
keeps
did.
your rage going.
I forgot about that part.
That's all right. Okay, Zinhorn.
Has it been more than a minute since I cast my spiritual hammer?
I'll say you have 2 rounds of it because you watched the cutscene in between.
Okay, well in that case, I am going to try Sacred Flame
All right.
and then follow it up with Spiritual Hammer.
All right. It it got a 21 on its evasion of the Sacred Flame.
Okay. So Spiritual
And
Hammer.
you actually notice something when it evades the Sacred Flame. There's a moment where, like, it was right there, but then somehow, like, it's like it morphed in some horrific way to evade it. Like,
Ooh, that's
like
gross.
it's like a strange effect that's very unsettling because, like, you thought you had it right where you needed it, but then it somehow managed to not be hit anyway.
Hmm.
Yeah. So what's your
All right.
spiritual weapon attack?
6.
6 is not going to hit.
No, it's not.
All right. Are you moving?
I'm just I'm just gonna stay where I am.
Okay. All right. That makes it the creature's turn again. It's no longer grappling Trina, And I think at this point, because Carolina just flew right up over it, it's going to attack her. It only gets a 12. Wait, no, hang on. That's a 9, not a 6. So that would be 15.
Nope.
Okay. So yeah, that was its first attack. It's going to make another one because it didn't like missing. And it gets a crit.
Oh.
And this is another situation where, like, the first attack missed, but then this is another one where, like, it was reaching out, and then somehow you felt like, well, I can dodge this. But then you couldn't make yourself move away. Like, you just watched the claw coming right at you. And it really made you think of times in nightmares where you can't make yourself run or you can't make yourself move. It felt like that. So yeah, this crit is going to be 19 slashing damage. You are grappled, and I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
1 second, let me.
You
Nope.
find that as this thing traps you in its claws, you find yourself just going rigid and you are paralyzed.
Great. Sounds awesome.
Yep. Okay.
So still find a way to kill it. It's fine.
Nedry, you're up.
Uh-oh. Yeah, carefully angling because this is a big blast of lightning, but I'm going to try that again.
Okay.
So breathing the dragon's breath, lightning, dexterity saving throw.
Yeah. Here's a question. It's a large creature. I think, yeah, you can aim through it in a way that doesn't hit Carolina. Like, it's grappling her, right? But it gets a 16.
Okay, so it just takes half damage.
And again, it's an experience that you had similar to what some of the others are doing, where you sort of feel like you think you have it lined up just dead on, but then somehow when you actually breathe out your lightning, it's like you do it in a different way than you meant to. And somehow, like, it made you screw up, or you just didn't have it right, or it's a strange, very disorienting feeling. So it still takes half damage from save?
Yep.
Yeah.
So 14, half is 7.
All right.
I could have sworn I had it.
Okay. Anything else for Nedry?
Nope, that's it for now.
Okay, great. Carolina, it's your turn. You can, at the end of your turn, repeat the saving throw, which is Constitution.
But I
But
can't
right
do
now,
anything
you just
else.
find yourself just utterly unable to move or even breathe.
Okay. So I guess I'll roll that thing. I don't feel good about rolling this on the dice have turned against me.
Yeah. Okay, with a 15. Yeah, you find yourself able to kind of power through, and you start to be able to move a little bit, and you've shrugged off the poison for now.
Yay.
All right, so you're no longer paralyzed, but that's your whole turn. Okay, sequential.
I'm gonna just shoot a firebolt at it.
All right. A 12 misses, unfortunately.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's big.
All right. Trina, you're up.
Swinging my scimitar.
Okay. Okay. 26 is gonna hit. Yeah.
Nice.
Almost crit. Yeah, but not quite.
So total of 8.
Okay.
Right? Yeah.
Mhm.
And then short sword swing is a 9.
Okay, the 9 is gonna miss. All right. Staying where you are? I mean, Carolina, it was like hovering above it before it
Yeah.
crashed up there to get her.
I don't think I can't, I used my action, but which drew my ancestral protectors, I hit, so they're going to protect everybody now, but I don't think I can get in between Carolina and it to act as a meat shield. I think she's right on top of it, right?
Yeah, you can't, there's no way to get up there. Like, unless you try to,
Okay.
like, leap on top of the creature or something, but, I mean, forgive my commentary if I suggested that seems like a bad idea. I mean, you could try it.
I mean, it would get them off of Carolina.
Yeah, this hovering nightmare creature made of claws and teeth and eyes. Sure, just jump on it.
Yeah, I'm totally going to leap on its head.
All right. Well, so technically you did use your action already, but I will go
But my
ahead and let
movement?
you make a yeah, no, no, I'm sorry. I feel like I would need an action to try to,
Yeah.
or an attack to try to
Okay.
grapple it, essentially, to hang on. Otherwise, you're just going to fall down the hole, which is probably not
Yes, my toes are already on the edge, so I'm just going to stay there
what you
and
want. Yeah. So I
be
think-
ready to try
I
and
think
catch
if you-
Carolina if she goes flying.
If you want to try to make a grapple check on it with one of your attacks next time, I will allow that.
Okay.
All right. Okay, that makes it Zinhorn's turn again.
All right. I am going to switch over to Toll the Dead,
Okay.
which is a wisdom save versus 12.
All right. It's going to make that save. And yeah, it gets 21.
Well, that's rude. And my last spiritual hammer. Useless. This is 6.
Yeah, and then as it swings and misses, it fades away. And again, with the Toll the Dead, it's another one where there's a moment where you do it and you almost feel it connecting, and yet then it just dissolves again, and it's just this, wait, what? What happened? How did, and it's very upsetting that it feels like it keeps toying with you in this way. All right.
I will be right back.
Okay. So that makes it its turn again, and what with Trina slashing at it, it's definitely turning its claws back towards you. It's going to get a 24 to hit,
Yeah, that hits.
which is going to do 15 slashing damage.
Which I
and
think I have resistance to that while I'm enraged.
you do, yeah. So
So
it'll be
that's
7.
7?
Yeah. And then it's actually going to release the grapple on Carolina, and you are now grappled.
Sure.
Trying to, and it's attacking again with its claws and misses that time. But it does try to poison you again, so that's another Constitution saving throw, please.
15?
15 is a success. You are not poisoned. You are grappled, though. Like, it's got you in its claws, and which is not really how you meant for that to happen. But Carolina is no longer grappled. Okay. Nedry, your turn.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'm just going to continue to breathe heavily. So, dexterity saving throw.
Okay. All right.
It's too dangerous to do anything else.
Yeah, it gets a dirty 20.
Okay, so half of 10, so 5.
You guys are doing some damage to it, but it's still pretty tough. All right. Okay. Carolina.
All right. Well, I am going to I'm going to cast Dissonant Whispers again.
Okay.
So Wisdom 14.
All right. Yeah, it gets a dirty 20.
Ugh. Okay, so half damage, and it doesn't run away.
I think also the that you find that there's a moment again where it feels like it's working, but then you find your own dissonant whispers briefly feeding back into your own head, and you're able to sort of cut it off before it would hurt you, but it's just another moment of nothing's working right, nothing's going the way it's supposed to, something like all sorts of bizarre happenstances keep seeming to interfere with what you're doing. It's like you're in a nightmare. All right, Sequential, you're up.
All this magic has not been working for me, so I'm going to fire a crossbow bolt at it.
Okay, yeah. A 16 hits. And it does 5 damage.
Yep.
It worked.
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
Sorry,
anything
Chooch, I suck at being you.
Aw. Aw. We need our real Chooch back, but we're
That's
gonna
right.
have you eventually as someone else. Anything else for Sequential?
Nope, that's it.
Okay. Trina, you are grappled. Now, technically, you could choose to attack even while you are grappled.
Can I ask you a question out of character for a second?
Mm-hmm.
How far is it down the stairs? Is it 30 feet down this? Like, what's the distance of the stairs?
Yeah, if you fell down the hole, it would be 30 feet. Or do you mean?
But if I wanted to go down to this, if I wanted to go down the stairs, get the mirror, how many? I'm trying to figure out how many
5,
turns that would
10,
be.
15. You could get to the bottom of the stairs on this turn. Well, actually, you can't because you're currently grappled.
Right, right.
So,
but it would just be hitting.
If you could dash, you could just get to the bottom of the stairs, but you could only get like halfway down the stairs on this turn if you break the grapple with your action.
I'm gonna attack it.
Okay. So
if it's holding me, it ain't holding nobody else.
Okay.
So is it disadvantage though? Correct.
Also, don't forget
no.
you have the 1d6 still.
I'm clenching it tightly to my bosom. Believe me.
Your attacks are not at disadvantage. Like it's got you grabbed but not restrained.
Oh. Nice.
All right, 16 hits.
Okay.
It's got you like these claws like pinned around you, and you're just still hacking at it.
So that would be 8 points of damage.
Okay.
I don't know why it didn't show up.
Okay.
And do I get my second attack?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I mean, you're staying grappled, but that's fine.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. An 8 won't hit though.
That thing does not like to hit things.
Mm-hmm. All right, Zinhorn. Muted, I think. Yep. You unmuting yourself, Paul?
I got a 15 to hit with my mace.
Okay, 15 does hit.
Alrighty. That will be 9 points of damage.
Okay, make a dexterity saving throw, because you have to reach out over the hole a little bit.
Oh, lovely. Text. I got an 11.
You are able to avoid falling down the hole.
Yay, me. I'm gonna move. Well, my turn is done. That was my action.
I mean, you can move if you want it.
Can I move someplace where I can hit it with my mace without having to
Not
risk
really,
falling?
because it's hovering over the hole. That's kind of the whole point, is that, like, to get in melee range, you have to be right up on the edge of the hole.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Okay, it is this creature's turn, and it drops you down the hole.
Oi!
You are going to take 11 bludgeoning damage, but halved, as you are dropped down to the bottom of the hole. So 5 bludgeoning damage for you, but I'm going to just move your token down here because you're technically just at the bottom of the stairs.
Well, that's one way to get down.
Yep. And then it's going to attack Nedry.
Cool.
And get an 18 to hit.
This is fun. So I will use my second level spell slot that's remaining to cast Shield.
Okay.
I will slap down upon Protective Verses at my hip. I will use the remaining charge in it to give Carolina 2d10 temporary hit points. Let me just roll real quickly. So 12 temporary hit points for Carolina.
Okay.
And I will, yeah, that was the end of that.
You cast an arcane force field to deflect its claws. It also sends claws out at Zinhorn. And
No!
gets only a 14 to hit.
That will not hit.
All right. Okay, that is its turn. So Nedry, you're up.
Okay. Well, I don't have to do the trickier version. That's good. Yeah. I'm probably saying something really, really intelligent, but it comes out as his lips kind of flapping with the lightning exploding up from it.
Dexterity again for the...
Dexterity saving throw, yeah.
All right. Yeah, it gets a 21.
Okay, that's half damage. Half of 8, so 4.
Yeah, you guys are doing some damage. You're wearing it down. Okay. Carolina.
Well, I'm just gonna slap at it with my sword, my rapier. There you go. Are you kidding me?
A critical miss. Unfortunately, it's not going to work. Yeah.
Well, at least I'm not standing next to anybody this time. In the air.
I think what happens is that you for a moment, just for a split second, the ring gives out and you start to fall just for like a half second, and then you catch yourself again. So you don't actually fall that far. It's just a moment of whoa.
Okay.
All right. Sequential.
The crossbow thing was working for me, so I'm going to try that again.
7, no, it's not gonna.
Ugh.
Not gonna do it. Feel like you can't even get a sense of what its center of mass is. It's just this weird, like, shifting shape.
I don't quite feel like myself. That's
So, Trina, you're at the bottom of the stairs, prone, or like in the pile of rubble. Oh wait, no. Okay, I did this wrong. Because what's below this hole on the next floor down is another hole.
Oh God, it's another hole.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So I'm sorry.
But you said it was a smaller hole than this hole.
was.
Is it
No,
possible
no,
my big
you
butt
are
got stuck in that
following
little?
No, so I'm sorry. You fell all the way down, which means actually that you take another. It would be 14 falling damage on top of what I said before, but halved for you.
14?
So it's another 7 for you
Okay.
because it's halved. But that means you are now on top of the pile of rubble on the second floor.
Fine. Fine. It's all fine. I'm gonna drink my healing potion because I do have this one little healing potion
So
before I start traveling up the stairs.
yeah, so you are well, and here's the problem, trying to like you're now here. The stairs don't go straight up the tower from here. You have to try to remember. Do you remember which way to go to get back up to where you want to be?
I think so.
So you use your action to take the potion.
But I am an Outlander, so Trina would know even if I don't.
Not sure that's how Outlander works.
Well, she's got a good sense of direction, I thought.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. All right, but nonetheless, you used half your movement to stand up, your action to drink the potion. So you do that, but now you have, what's half of your movement? Is it still just 15? Or do you have higher movement?
Trying to see.
Your movement speed is still 30. So,
30, yeah.
So basically, you can get to here, moving, like trying to go towards the nearest stairs to get you back to where you want to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Perfect.
Yep. Okay, so, yeah, I knew that when I intended to have it drop you, and then I just forgot to actually have it, work. Okay, so that's Trina's turn. Zinhorn.
I don't like the idea of falling through a hole, so I'm going to go back to trying Sacred Flame.
Yeah, okay.
Dex 12.
Mm-hmm. Learn from my example.
It gets a 22.
Wait.
And once again, it's like there's a moment where you're sure it's right there, and then it just somehow it manages to, like, not be there. Or there's a moment where, like, something catches the corner of your eye, and it makes you send it wide, and you just, like, it's very disorienting and upsetting that how this keeps happening. There's just something about this creature that just is distorting reality to make things feel like a nightmare. All right, and then that makes it its turn. I think it is going to grab at Sequential. And gets a 23 to hit. And
the ancestral protectors are still there.
Yes.
Because I've taken damage every turn.
Right, but so it actually does still hit. So, like, it would...
right.
But,
I was just saying
yes,
for the damage.
You are correct, though, that you hit it on your turn. So that's still going. But it did still hit. It doesn't grapple Sequential, though. It just does the damage, which is... Ooh, max damage. So that's 16 slashing damage to Sequential.
Is that halved?
No. Oh, well, yes, it is, because of this whole effect. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, and then... oh, wait. You didn't hit it on this turn because you were at the bottom of the hole on your turn this turn.
It did damage to me on this term, though. And either I do damage to it or it does damage to me.
The effect of the protection, your rage is still up, but the effect of your protection is only when you hit it on the first creature you hit on each turn. So you're still raging.
Right.
But the psychic assistance only kicks in each time you hit something on your turn.
Okay.
And then it lasts for that round.
Okay. I thought it lasted. I thought that permeated as long as I kept rage up. That was my understanding. I apologize if I misunderstand.
While raging, the first creature you hit with an attack on your turn has disadvantage on any attack that aren't against you, and so on. And so what that means is that the rage stays up, and as long as you hit something on each turn, it keeps going. But because you took damage, the rage keeps going, but you didn't hit anything. So,
okay.
So all that means is that the damage is not half, so it is 16 slashing damage.
Sorry, Chooch, that isn't here to hear it. When you listen later, I'm sorry.
And then Trina, I think it's going after you again.
So that was the full 16?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a 22 to hit you, Trina.
Oh, cool. From 2 floors down? Nice.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Carolina. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was going to say, that's some good aim.
It was a what?
It was a 16 to hit.
No, that does not hit.
Wait, hang. Did I say 16 to hit? I feel like that's not what I'm seeing on my dice. I'm sorry.
I thought I heard 16, but maybe someone else heard.
No,
has it
okay.
better.
I know I said that, and that's got to be like I something went weird with my dice, but I'll abide by that as fair. So 16 doesn't hit.
Nope.
All right. Well, lucky you. Okay. So that makes it Nedry's turn.
Yeah, I hate to rinse and repeat, but if I move, I'm going to fall over. Might as well keep burning it with electricity.
Yeah. I mean, you could back up, but it would get it to swipe at you.
Well, not only that, I'm right by the hole, so it's a little
Yeah.
dangerous for me to move at all.
Well, no, you can back away from the hole without making it check.
Oh,
It's only
yeah.
when you're like moving
No, I can't.
towards
I
it
can't
or
risk
around
getting
it.
hit.
Yeah, it's fine. So, it does its deck save again.
Yep.
Yeah, it gets a 16.
16 is enough for half. Half
Thing
of
just seems to
8 is 4.
move and slide through the air like oil and water. It's just like it's sometimes seems physical and sometimes fluid. How much damage?
8, which is halved to 4.
All right. Anything else?
Nope.
All right. Carolina, it just slashed at you, but you're still hovering above it.
Yep, and I'm gonna cast Dissonant Whispers at level 1.
Okay. And it makes another saving throw.
14 Wisdom.
Okay.
Please work. Please work.
Oh, yeah, it does this time. Yeah.
Yay!
So just so so you guys can be interested in the mechanic here, this effect that I've talked about is essentially that it gets advantage on everything. And so in this case, like that's how it's expressed mechanically. But essentially, what it does is that it's like improbable things just keep happening to you in a nightmarish way.
Hate that guy.
But it does fail this time, though. So it's 14 psychic damage, huh?
Yep,
Yeah.
14, and it needs to move as far away from me as it can.
All right. Well, you know what that means is that,
Down the hole.
yeah. So, Carolina, you and Zinhorn and Sequential and Nedry, if you have opportunity attacks handy, you can make them.
Yup.
Yep.
Doing it.
Is it still holding Carolina?
No. She's floating
Okay.
with the ring.
Okay.
21 to hit.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for Carolina to take it out.
Okay.
Come on, we need it.
Come on.
10 damage.
It's looking pretty hurt now, actually. And then
Kiss my steel.
So the 8 from
love this
Zinhorn
sword
won't
now.
hit, but the dagger from Sequential will hit for another 5 damage. It's looking pretty bad, but it flees down the hole to the point where it's actually not on this screen anymore. It's down here with
Heads up, Trina.
it has followed you down through the hole apparently, and now it's here. All right, that was Carolina's turn. Sequential.
Can I see it through the hole still?
If you make a dexterity saving throw to stand close enough to the edge of the hole.
Okay.
All right. Yes. You can see it, but it is 60 feet away.
Oh, that's fine. I'm gonna fire a crossbow bolt at it.
Okay. A 13 misses, unfortunately.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Trina, you were just getting ready to run back up the stairs, but now it seems to have pursued you down the hole.
I'm going to run at it. I'm going to swing my scimitar.
Yeah. Do it.
I'm sure you guys are surprised by that choice,
Seems
but
like a good idea to me. It's been working
you
so
know.
far. The 20 will hit.
27 points of damage.
Trina. This fight up to now has been a nightmare.
Yeah.
But at some point in a nightmare, you take control.
Mm-hmm.
And when you take control of this nightmare, how do you destroy it?
With a slice from head to whatever resembles a toe. Like just a clean slice down the middle.
All right.
That way Nedry can dissect it, you know.
Well, you say that. Unfortunately, as you slice it, its flesh does not divide and split like biological flesh. It's almost like it starts dissolving into the air, like just little particles of it but like not even, it's just disintegrating and unraveling somehow into nothingness. But as it swirls around, it is destroyed.
Yay!
Yay!
So she big old locks it on trumpet, dun, 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 or something triumphant. I don't know, Starla, you know, you do the music.
Snark it. Snark it victory.
Wet flute.
Ew!
So, what?
I gave you control.
So,
Dude, that dissonant whisper spell is fucking amazing. I love it.
So, unfortunately, Trina does not get to see the victory cutscene because she is 2 floors down. But the rest of you, what you see as this nightmare creature is destroyed is that this strange distortion of the room, all of these bizarre sort of like vein-like tendrils and the flexing of the room dissipates, and you can see like there's a relaxation in this shadowy form of Sombra, but then it goes limp and seems to fall tumbling into the hole, carrying the circlet with it. And then what those of you up there in the room, you see Isilda starting to try to move, but she's too weak. You can see she's still bleeding quite a lot. And with a look of resignation, she looks over to you again and says, "She still needs your help. She won't remember." And then she lays back, peering upward, holds out the deck of cards and takes another one and says, "Alistair, please find me." And then there's another whirlwind, and she disappears into the card. As she's vanishing into it, her bag falls off her shoulder, tumbles down the hole. And then when she disappears, the deck of cards is left floating there, drops to the ground, tumbles down the hole as well, followed by a few more pieces of this hole that's still collapsing, crumbling downward. And you all kind of peer down the hole and look at the pile of debris 2 floors down where Trina is standing.
I'm gonna go ahead and float down in there. Just
Y'all made it
straight down the hole.
rain.
Yeah. So, yeah,
Kind
so
of
Carolina just kind of...
descending, very angelic-like.
Is everyone else, like, rushing down the stairs, like, actually, or anyone want to just jump? I would.
I'm not jumping, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not jumping until I learn to fly.
I'm not killing Chooch. So
Right.
I'll just
I
walk.
will just assume, though, that the rest of you are hurrying down to join Trina as you return into like this bedroom, and you're looking now at like this pile of debris that is from this hole that was created, and you saw things tumble down there, and then more debris fall after it.
I'm just leaving it there because I know that they're going to want to see everything. So
My map hasn't changed, so
Okay.
I can't move.
Hang on.
Well,
Okay,
I don't
hang
think we're
on.
in
tactical combat with them.
Okay,
There we
hang
go.
on. Yeah, okay. You see
So,
that?
Yeah.
we
So
should
digging
bring
through
the
rubble.
mirror down here, just in case the dwarf comes out of the cards by accident.
Yeah.
Well, the
Okay.
dwarf isn't in the cards.
She was sucked in by the whirlwind.
Didn't she
Oh,
get
right.
sucked into a card?
Right.
Mhm.
Right. Sorry, I was thinking of Isolde, who wasn't a dwarf.
Isolde
I'm-
is in the card as well.
Digging
But
through the rubble because
Yes.
there was a person that fell.
Yes. And as you are digging.
Oh, a
and-
person fell. Thought it was
No.
just stuff.
no, the cards fell.
No.
Okay.
And Sombra.
Sombra
Oh,
with
Sombra,
the
right.
circlet,
Oh,
then the bag, then the cards.
Well, I would have tried to catch a person falling.
You didn't see. Okay. You didn't
I
see
know,
the
but,
person
like,
fall-
yeah.
You didn't see any of this, Trina, because you were not there. The reflection
Right.
happened 2 floors up.
Right.
You didn't see a person falling. There was no one to catch. But you now have a pile of debris that you can sort through. So you start digging through, and you find a number of things. You find, covered in dust, you find the bag that you had seen Isilda carrying. You see a deck of tarot-like cards. And you see a dark elf.
Kind of look at Nedry. I told you it was a person.
Let's not jump to conclusions.
And this dark elf is breathing but unconscious. And one thing that you notice about her that you have not really seen before is that there's kind of a purplish complexion, white hair, but in a big streak like over the eyes and then swirling around in other places. The skin is just that same sort of ultra black color that you had seen previously.
Well, I'm going to use my last first level spell slot and cast Healing Word on the unconscious person.
The magic takes effect, but she does not wake up.
Does
Well?
it look like they're breathing? I guess would be the.
Breathing, yes, they are breathing. They are unconscious.
Is she
I'm
still
gonna-
wearing the circlet?
She is not wearing the circlet. She is holding it. say that,
I'm
I
going
guess, but
to
I-
kick it out of her hand if possible.
Okay, yeah, you can. It dunk 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 dunk. It hits the ground. It seems really heavy, heavier than you would have thought.
Then I don't think. Let me check.
Nedry holds out a
don't-
hand over her and seems to focus without any words. I cast Detect Thoughts
Okay.
and I tap into her mind.
I think you don't get anything really coherent, but you have just a tiny bit of an image that comes across through a lot of other confusing things. And what you see is the key. The crystal key.
And I'll say out loud, I can see the key in her mind. The crystal key. And to her, in her mind, I'll try to speak reassuringly. It's okay. You're with friends. Iselda told us to help you, and we'll help you. He doesn't say that part out loud.
Trina, can you cough up the key again? See if that works.
Sure. Here's the key.
I'm going to check in my healer's kit to see if I have smelling salts.
Okay. So you have the key in the pouch, presumably still,
Sure. Yeah, I hand it over to her.
to Carolina?
Yeah, she asked for it, right?
Uh-huh. So,
Yeah.
I will dump the pouch out. I don't like if she has it open. Like I'll open up her hand and dump the key onto her palm. I guess. See what?
Jenny?
so much light. There's so much light. And she stops, and her eyes are just really wide, very white. And she looks at all of you. She looks terrified, but curious. Who are you?
We're friends.
Friends. We're friends.
It's nice to meet you.
We are. We're here to help. Are you okay? What do you need?
No. What is... I look down at the key in my hand, and I kind of turn away and I just start muttering, what do I do?
What's going through her mind right now?
What do I do?
Well, yeah. So, Jenny, what does Nedry's got? What, detect thoughts? Is that what you
detect thoughts? Yeah.
Yeah. So, what would be the surface level thoughts that you would pick up?
It's absolute chaos. It's very, very hard for you to pinpoint any one thing because there's so much stuff going through her mind. There's murder and death and power struggle and trying to make sense of things and figure out what I'm supposed to do, how I'm supposed to do it, why I'm supposed to do it. I couldn't stop. I couldn't save them.
It's okay. We saw a little bit. It wasn't your fault. She's very confused. I can see it in her mind. She's very confused and sad.
Scary confused? Because I'm still holding my scimitar. I'm not getting what you guys are getting.
More scared, confused. She blames herself for what happened here.
So she's not someone that's going to harm us, you don't think?
I don't think so.
Trina's going to put her scimitar away and sit down very low on the ground to appear less scary and just be very still until they figure out what's going on. She's just going to be low and still and not scary.
So, whoever would like to make a perception check.
I can try. If it's her, I'm only paying attention to her.
19. I rolled real dice out of habit.
So even though obviously you're very focused on this person that you found, you realize you hear from outside the window what sounds like the ordinary sounds of Fashan City streets. The window is still closed with the shutters closed.
Does it smell different?
I mean, you're still inside the house with all the windows shuttered. It doesn't smell different in here.
Guys, I think we're out of the pocket.
Oh, really?
Listen, you can hear it.
Well, that's disappointing.
So I'm going to look at Sombra. Yes? Your name is Sombra?
No. No.
No?
What's your name? Do you remember?
Zaylene. Zaylene Belride. Yes. Yes, that's who I am. I'm Zaylene.
Does that feel like a true answer from the inside of her head? I don't know if that really makes
Zaylene?
any sense.
Yeah.
I think if you're still in her thoughts, no, it doesn't. It does and it doesn't. It's conflicting in her mind. Like that's who she believes she is, but also she's not sure.
Almost like it's more of a decision than a remembering.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll call you Zaline for now.
And
He'll kind of, well, actually, no, he's too curious. He'll stay there for the full time. It only lasts a minute. But he's never really done this before.
What's the last thing you remember?
I don't remember anything.
Is there any images that come to mind when she's trying to remember?
Just flashes of the things that you already saw. The memory images that you guys were present for.
Well, I think there's a lot to talk about. And I think I would really like to leave this place, and maybe you would too?
She kind of looks around. And if Nedry is still in her thoughts, it would be conflict because she doesn't know if she can leave, if she should.
You can try to leave with us, and we'll help you. If you can't, then we'll make sure someone's here with you. You're a mystery, and I really like mysteries. And I want to help.
I think your
And
spell
we
probably
can
fades
always
back.
come back.
Okay. I'll try. I think.
Can you walk? Can you stand? I would offer her a hand up.
Yeah. I'll take it and kind of stagger a little bit, feeling very strange. Like she looks like she's never had legs before. Doesn't know how to use them. And then she takes a minute and looks down at her body and holds out her arms and stretches them a little bit.
Nedry looks over at Carolina, and without moving his lips or casting a spell, says in her mind, I still think she might be a spirit.
I think that's actually a good spot to end for tonight. So, welcome,
Yay.
Yay!
Melter as Zed.
She was in the room the whole time.
I was there for everything.
Trying to land it on her. Fell from
It hurt.
60 feet and landed on the pile.
It hurt.
The great PC introduction, I will say.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
So,
For a second, I thought she was going to be Isilda, but just a second.
Nope.
so I mean, you guys have certainly got some new toys to decide what you're going to do with.
That's not really a nice way to talk about her.
Oh, well, don't you put words in my mouth, Mark Kilfoyle.
It's more Nedry speaking anyway.
He's going to
I'm talking
dissect her.
about a bag that eats people, a deck of cards that sucks people in with a whirlwind, a mirror that traps people in the life, and then, of course, the deep jade circlet that started all this. So, have fun with all of that next week on so many levels.
I think we need a beach house episode.
Seems like it.
We need a vacation. I just got here. We need a vacation.
So we've already got a question in the chat, but so anyone watching, feel free to ask questions of the characters for them to answer in character. We'll do a couple and see how that goes. So first, for everyone from Smarter Master, what do you think of your new friend? I mean, it's a little early, but you know, you can have first impressions.
A mystery wrapped in a puzzle, wrapped in a person.
Covered in an enigma.
Yeah, we could probably wipe the enigma off.
All right, so question for Carolina. are theories already starting to form about how this dark elf relates to the others?
The others, as in from Rushama. Oh, so like from the Heroes of Legend. Is that what that means?
Guess, yeah.
I think. Well, what she really knows about the Mistress of the Dark was from the Tale of the Heroes of Legend, and
pretty antagonistic relationship.
Yeah, but also just that connection to that story holds some fascination for Carolina.
And I mean,
so,
the final beat in that story is kind of grudging respect, right? I mean,
yeah. So, yep. It'd be interesting. New friends!
Yeah. All right. Well, we're already running a little late, so I think
Worth
I'll
it.
go ahead and draw to a close for tonight. But thank you, everybody, for watching, especially those of you watching live. We're very glad to have you. If you're watching this on video or listening to the audio later, thank you also for that. In the meantime, we'll be back next week for more adventure on so many
levels.